Oh my gosh.
Now.
You're gonna have to go to that bit where you wait. Oh.
Yes, you are right, and it may be that today that moment comes. But welcome, generic viewer who may or may not ever actually watch this. Of back to the TSVA.
They better
D&D.
watch this.
We got some.
And I said viewer.
We're
Just
getting
assume
some
they're there.
storage.
Just one person.
If at least one person watches this and likes it, then we've achieved our purpose. And
Aw.
indeed, if you guys are enjoying the game, then we've achieved our purpose, because that's what D&D's about.
What if we
welcome.
end up being wildly popular and this ends up being really ironic?
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Hi,
terrifying.
one viewer out there. To a sea of people.
Thank you, Mother, for tuning in. I appreciate the effort.
You know what? I think I personally would be most happy if it was just your mother, James.
Yeah, she's pretty cool. She's pretty cool.
I would be honored.
It's,
Yes. Can we only show this to your mother? That's what I would like.
This is a podcast you can only show to a mom.
Yep.
No,
It's
no,
so family friendly.
Specifically,
Yeah.
James' mom.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, hi, Mum.
Hello, James' mom.
Cool. So welcome back to the game. It's been a while. I hope that you had a good Christmas and a restful New Year, an agreeable Hanukkah. You know, I'm gonna dive straight back into the game.
Winter
Or-
holidays.
Or a lovely winter weekend.
Indeed. Winter
Or
solstice.
whatever.
Solstice is what it's called. Okay. And speaking of which, somebody needs to write down that it's like probably the third of the month after. We'll talk about what date it is later.
Third month after.
Yeah.
Not the month before.
Not the month before.
Dark.
Let's
Let me
jump
get my player.
straight in
Notes.
as I put my phone on silent. Last time.
So it was the 28th of... Oh, hold on. I've got the 28th of Tarsak. And
when we
then
left, right?
2 more days past is the last that I've written.
Okay, so you guys have been climbing the mountain for, I'd say, 4 days at this point. So it's probably the 2nd of the month after, which...
4 days total or 6 days since we started climbing the mountain?
4 days since we started climbing the mountain.
Okay, 4 more days pass.
Yes. But last time, in the band of our fantastic group of the Dysfunctionals, our roving group of adventurers began their journey up the Trine mountain in search of the ancient temple that sits on the summit. You bargained for the sale and purchase of various weapons, armors, and warm clothing, and began your ascent. Your companion Arthurine displayed a sudden burst of magic power during an ambush from a pair of winter wolves, deepening the intriguing potential he holds and likely effectiveness to your journey's progression. In addition to this, the Drow amongst you, Kyro and Sintyrr, remain awkwardly silent towards one another, but secrets remain between the two, which threaten the relative civility of this dysfunctional group that has been brought close together by recent events. Now, the party continues upwards, spiraling around this ancient mountain to its peak. The snow blows bitter cold in your face, a chill which would be paralyzing were it not for your shrewd clothing purchases in town. Ella walks in the tracks cleared by Yell as he plows through the drifts that are becoming increasingly treacherous. Suddenly, the sound of snarls and raking claws alerts Eirys to a group of large creatures further ahead of you along the road. She indicates the danger and throws herself low to the ground, staying stealthy. Following her pointed arm, you barely see through the upturned cloud of snow billowing ahead of you as a combat of wild creatures rages, seemingly fighting between themselves. I'd like everybody to roll for initiative, please.
10.
15.
Okay.
Ah, what a
It's
sad roll.
time for my favourite music
For me.
ever.
I had even more initiative than I thought I had. I got 17.
Oh god, everyone's on it.
Yeah,
Well
man.
done.
These are good rolls.
Yeah.
Add
I get
10.
+2 to my initiative now, not +1. Yes.
All right. Where'd you get that from?
Jack of all trades. I just forgot to add it before.
I got 7.
Kyro's still cold.
Sintyrr's got, what did Kyro roll?
Oh, 10.
10. Eirys, what did you
I
get?
did. Moderately.
15. 1-5.
Yell?
17.
Okay, let's start moving some of these.
What
things
has our
around.
dear gnome cleric rolled?
It is a good question, and I'm going to answer
Perhaps
it for
tell
you.
the viewer.
Our favourite gnome cleric friend, who's nearly been ripped apart several times now,
Yes.
is going to roll a 7. Ella rolled a 7. Oh my
She's so
goodness, and
cute.
Arthur's here as well. Do.
Arthur can roll as well. It's great that we only have the one NPC character thus far.
14. Yeah, that's true.
Imagine if we had
Bad
10
rolls.
friends.
Not bad rolls. Okay.
I could have 10 friends if I wanted to.
All right. So.
I can get friends anytime I want.
So
You've got
Yell,
to.
you see ahead of you, having maybe it appears you kind of see as the cloud of snow, the snowfall lessens slightly at this point, and you can see ahead of you maybe let me just drag this across for you. You see across the kind of winding path that's kind of slipperily attached to the side of the mountain, rotating around, turning around, and the spiral that you've been following is getting kind of steeper and more rugged as you have been traveling upwards, and more slippery underfoot due to the snowfall. And you can see through the snowfall there appear to be a couple of large giant sort of humanoid creatures with horns spewing out of the front of their faces, and they're lashing out with their claws into the sides of 2 winter wolves that you recognize from having encountered them a couple of days prior as you were camping. It's your action first. What would you like to do?
I would like to cast Shatter.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh dear.
What save are they going to make?
All of them need to
Yeah.
make
getting into
a
it.
Constitution saving throw.
Con save. Yeti on the left gets... Oh, okay. 9, so he fails. The Yeti on the right
He does
Nice.
indeed.
gets an 18, so the Yeti on the right
That
succeeds. The Winter Wolf on the left. Okay. Rolls a 15. How does that do?
That succeeds.
And the other one a 21. So the only one that fails is the bottom left Yeti, and the others succeed.
Oh, that was
Oh, I hope they didn't see where that came from.
8 plus 6 plus 7. 15 plus 6. 21 damage.
21.
Halved for the ones that failed.
Yeah, comment real quick. I think shatter also affects objects in the area, so if
It
there's
does. Any
something that might
non-magical
become...
object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage in that spell if it's in the spell's area.
I bet there's a lot of snow.
10.
Yeah, the snow will take 21 damage.
Perhaps some snow will fall. Who knows?
Okay.
That's a point. It is also thunder damage. It does make a loud boom as well.
Yeah. It you cast a spell and it cracks from the middle of this kind of rump of wildlife, and one of the Yetis just kind of like gets completely surrounded by the lightning energy, and the snapping of bone around goes up his body into his neck, and
Ooh.
this first Yeti collapses to the ground.
Oh, sweet.
It's as he collapses, you kind of look and you notice that he has a number of wounds at his side. It seems that these animals have been slashing at each other for a little while before you arrived. That was a high damage impact that you just did. That, to the hit point, killed the Yeti.
Sweet.
Anything else you want to do?
Bonus action.
You got a bonus action yet?
Bonus action. Might as well give a bit of inspiration.
Who's that?
Who shall I give it to? As I'm right next to Ella, I'd probably give it to Ella. You're you're cold, yes, you're no, you're in, you're out. For God's sakes, don't go down.
Okay. Ella kind of grasps her shield a little bit closer and looks boldly ahead. The smell of sizzling yeti wafts across the wind towards the party.
Delicious.
Smells like breakfast.
Eirys, you made a stealth check last. I've got you marked here for something.
Yeah, I made a stealth check. 'Cause remember, I tried to grab Arthur and I rolled a pretty good stealth check, but a really bad strength check for dragging Arthur in. So I more like caressed him and went into stealth. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Awkward.
That's
awkward
true.
moment. I
you're
can't remember what I
currently-
rolled. I want to say it might have been 17, but I don't know for certain if it was.
Did you roll in roll 20?
I'm happy to
No.
consider.
No, it'll be on
I'm
my
happy to
dad's.
consider
Okay.
That you're in a hidden position. What do you want to do?
I'm going to. Can I hold my action to shoot an arrow at anybody who, any of the three that kind of head towards us in an aggressive stance? Like I think they might be attacking the group.
You can certainly.
Like if they kind of carry on squabbling, I'll just leave it. But if I notice them turn towards us as if they're gonna come at us, I will let the arrow fly.
Okay. So you're going to stay where you are and hold that action.
Yes, please.
All right. That's what you'll do. Next up is Arthrin. He's going to run alongside Yell and just be like, "What the fuck? What the fuck do you do that for?" And he's going to open up his hands and he's going to cast Hunter's Mark. He's going to do that subject to it being within range, which I don't know if it is. H.
Can I just reply to Arthur and...
Yeah.
Well, I'm out of rations and I need breakfast.
But you could have
Holy
wait till they
shit.
killed each other.
But that's no fun.
Alright.
I mean, Jesus Christ. 90 feet. Yeah, that's good. He's gonna cast Hunter's Mark, which looks more intimidating. He sees the kind of like leering body of the wolf that's kind of almost standing over the felled yeti, and it kind of locks eye contact with him and snarls. He's just like, "Ah!" and releases the energy, and just like a red beam sort of flies from his hand, flies through the air, and shrouds itself around the body of the wolf, who is now marked.
You stay away from my breakfast, you dirty mud.
It's a bonus action, so he's going to use his action to fire his bow, longbow. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Oh, bloody hell, he's been playing so well. A longbow is his dexterity plus his... Yeah, it's not going to hit. He intimidatingly kind of knocks an arrow to his bow, and it clatters off the side of the wall harmlessly. He's kind of intimidated, and he kind of breathes. Yell, you can hear him breathing erratically. The yeti is going to go and still reeling from the electric energy as his enemies are, and turns, and he sees you guys. He doesn't know what to do because he feels surrounded at this point. He's going to turn and just unleash to further attacks at the... Actually, no. I'm going to roll a d20 to figure out what he does. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna attack the Winter Wolf with 2 claw attacks. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they both hit. So 1d6 plus 4, 9 plus 6, so an additional 15 hit points of damage on this one. 64. Oh yeah, he kind of just turns around and lashes out at one of the wolves behind, who just like rips across his face. It's difficult to see, but he seems to be really piling into this wolf. Kyro, it's your turn.
Wondering, can I move here about 30 feet along the wall and use my bonus action to hide?
You certainly can.
Okay, I would like to do that.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. 21.
You believe yourself to be hidden.
Okay, I'd like to use my action to prepare an action, which is to stab anything that gets within my range.
Can do. All right. This is pretty cool, guys. That's your turn, Sintyrr.
All right. Is Kyro also hidden to me?
You can try and see if you can see him. I mean, he moved towards the wall, and it's craggy
If you
around
wanna
there.
roll-
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh, he's stealthing. I should probably not draw attention to him. Whatever. I was going to hit him with some heroism, but
I think it's
now
a target that you can see, isn't it? So you can't see him
Yeah.
at this point.
Whoops.
Not without.
Make someone else heroic.
I think I have to like bap him on the shoulder at least.
Oh, okay.
Because it's touch range, so I'm not gonna like roll right up to him and be like, "Hey, I know you're hiding."
Hey, this guy right here. This guy.
So, yeah, I'm gonna start running towards the towards danger, and on my way there, I'm just gonna bap the cleric on her face with heroism.
Heroism. Wow. Okay.
Have some temporary hit points, and you can't be scared.
25. How
That's
many
cool.
temporary hit points is it?
Let's see. Equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. So,
Charisma. For a paladin.
so 4.
Ella gets 4 additional hit points. All right. I think I'll write that down. If I have a pen.
All right.
All right. Now, Eirys. Being cool.
Ice cold.
All right. It works because we're on a mountain. Okay. So that's your. Is that an action that you've done to cast heroism, or is that just your bonus action?
Yeah, that's my action. I'm also gonna just use my movement to try to get up near the danger.
You've made your movement. You've done your action. Is there any bonus action that you want to do?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Ella is going to. Oh, what's Ella gonna do, guys?
Spiritual weapon.
That's a good one.
She's going to 5, 10, 15, staying beside Sintyrr, going to run alongside, going to look at the wolf that seems on its own now, and go, "Ah!" and raise her hands and cast Guiding Bolt at 2nd level, because
Ooh.
she can. And
Fancy.
she's going to... Okay, it's +3, which isn't great.
Guiding bolt up the mutt.
Do you know what? She doesn't need to use her inspiration, because pretty sure that hits, which it does. Guiding Bolt 2nd level, doink. Let me just check how much damage it does. 5d6 radiant damage.
I was going to say it does 4d6 at 1st level, so
Yeah.
whatever the addition is.
Oh, bloody hell. 10, 14. 14 hit points of damage.
Radiant damage. They could be
That's
weak
right.
to that.
The kind of clap from her hand, and for a moment, like when you've seen Sacred Flame, there's a burst of light that kind of shines out of the wolf's eyes and mouth through out of the edges of its fangs, reflecting around. And yeah, next melee attack has advantage. Holy crap, guys! It's almost like we're using tactics or something.
Steady.
That's her turn. She kind of
You've jinxed us.
turns to Sintyrr and goes, "Oh, okay."
Mm-hmm.
The wolf that is facing the Yeti will attack. This one clambers over the body of its fallen foe and is going to run at Sintyrr. 5, 10, 15.
Leave my breakfast
20.
alone.
Ooh, that's gonna
25,
trigger
I
some
lose an
stuff.
arrow.
30.
I attack!
Okay,
I
so
attack.
as soon as it becomes within melee range of Kyro, you can attack. Eirys, it's running forward with
Yes.
intent, so you can both unleash your attacks. You are hidden.
Well, yeah,
Take
but-
advantage. Take sneak attack.
Does 18 hit?
18 does hit.
Thank God.
Okay,
15 damage.
13, 6. 19.
19 hits.
Yeah.
So I fly out of the rocks and stab it.
Yeah.
And then 1d6.
Don't forget your sneak attack.
2d6.
Am I able to use my offhand weapon during this attack or
6
not?
and
Because
3.
No,
Nine.
you can only
No.
prepare
Okay.
one reaction attack.
Got it.
What did
The
you do?
offhand
was-
would be your bonus section.
Yeah, I
It's
figured.
just the dice that was doubled for sneak attack, not the +4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is 13 points of damage total.
How do you want to do this?
Oh, I want it to, like, I mean, who's actually killing it then?
It's running
Is
up
it
to
like both of
Sintyrr, but it never gets there.
I like to imagine we just make it run empathetically, like crash and skid, so it's like nose, boops, and tears, like foot, but it's dead.
Yeah.
I imagine Eirys' arrow flies out and stabs it through the heart or whatever. Well, not the heart, but then I also stab it. And our combined attacks kill it.
And Sintyr's just running up to it like, ah, and it's dead before he gets it.
That anticlimax. I shoot it between the eyes, and as it runs past, you could like slash it, like fall down the body. And then
Yeah,
it just
so you
tumbles
shoot
and
it
then-
through the brain and I stab it through the heart.
Yeah.
More meat.
And Sentier's like all pumped up, like, let's do this, and then it.
And then it's down, he's like, okay, that's fine too.
Do you see what I did?
Good job, everyone.
Arthur's pissed off because his hunter's mark went to waste.
Oh.
So
I mean, it hasn't gone to waste. You just deleted the wolf.
I
marker, by the
did.
way.
I did. That's okay. I'll remember. We're on to Yell.
It's me again. Oh boy. Now, what should I shatter?
I'll shatter again. Okay.
Of course, why not?
The Yeti fails. The wolf. What's the DC?
13.
Fails. Max damage on both. Maximum
fine.
damage.
Excellent.
12,
Man, I like
20
hiking.
points.
20 points each.
Yep.
Holy
20
crap.
points of thunder damage.
Yeah, you cast the spell and again it just like radiates around from the epicenter and they both collapse and stop moving. But as you do this, guys, there's a sound of a rumble further up the
Avalanche, huh?
Oh, fun.
Time to dive into that cave right there.
They're both dead. What are you gonna do?
Quick, into this convenient cave.
Okay, Yell, you've got a movement. We're gonna do this in initiative order, and it's important that we do.
Oh,
what
no.
What do you want to do? You've used your action.
Well, I'll move up, seeing as they're all dead, and I hear it. Oh,
Okay.
Wait, do I hear a rumble? Do I at least
Yeah,
feel the rumble?
yeah. Like, whereas you are concentrating on the combat, as soon as you see them fall and you kind of relax a bit, then you hear further up the mountain the rumble of a, and then you do see like a cloud of few like about 100, 200 feet further up the
Excellent.
mountain.
The consequences of using shatter.
Yes! Kill all those wolves that threatened me along the way.
Eirys,
Yeah,
what do you
so
wanna
that
do?
was good.
So we see the avalanche happening. The snow.
Yes, there's a rumble.
Okay, I'm running.
100 feet,
It's big and
5,
very
10,
rumbly.
15, 20, 25, 30.
do-
You run
Let's see, do I
around
see the
corner.
cave? Because I'm running for that cave if I do.
Yep, you can see inside. And would you believe it? I'm going to say this guy's
There's
over
a
here.
single Yeti.
There's a single Yeti kind of like huddling
some dead
around,
people.
around the back. And that's
Fancy.
a room full of dead humans. There's a dead winter wolf as well amongst them. You get
I
the
see dead
feeling that
people.
there's a clan of... It seems to be
Is
Yes,
there,
they do
pack
be
of
quite cold.
wolves
is there
and
a guy frozen to the ceiling?
No.
Is he trying to grab a mysteriously shaped rod or saber of some kind out of the snow?
I wish that I had thought of that, but no. You see the Yeti, and the Yeti is kind of like he hasn't actually realised that you're at the doorway yet, because
Perfect.
there's rumbling from it's rumbling inside the cave as well, and he's looking nervously and kind of edging towards the walls, looking up at the ceiling.
Can I use my that's my movement done. Could I use my action to dash and my bonus action to stealth, if that's okay?
Yep.
That
5,
sounds
10.
excellent.
Whereabouts are you going? You've got 20 more feet of dash here.
So I'm a fair 10 feet or so into the cave, so I'm out of danger from the avalanche. But then the nearest thing I can jump and hide behind.
Okay, you'll dive behind here. Make a stealth check.
Roll good. Oh, that's a 20! Okay. And my stealth is 8. I was honestly expecting to see a 1 then. I don't know why. I just felt like
you rolled a natural 20. I mean, that's it. You are hidden, and you know it as well.
I am the cave.
You are light.
You're one of the stalactites.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Dash action. 5, 10.
Or mites,
15,
whichever one.
20.
Stalagmites are the ones on the floor, and tights are on the ceiling.
Eirys kind of sweeps inside the cave, sees the Yeti, and at a split second dives behind a stalagmite coming up from the ground and completely disappears. Arthur comes round, just like, get in the cave! And his voice echoes around, and he looks up and he sees the Yeti, and he's like, oh, fuck! That's his turn.
You're welcome!
The Yeti kind of turns.
Oh yeah,
and he
we're gonna be trapped in this cave.
Well, you know what? It's still less deadly than being buried under hundreds of feet of snow, so...
Oh, absolutely.
The Yeti kind of beelines for Arthur.
Poor Arthur.
Yeah. He's going to use Chilling Gaze on it, so Arthur needs to make a con save. He fails. 1, 2, 3.
Oh no.
6, 9, 14.
Ooh, this Yeti's gonna get flanked.
14. Wait. Where are we? Excuse me. I'm just looking up the. Oh yeah. The Yeti kind of runs up to Arthur and just sort of stares at him, and there's a blue glow coming out from his eyes, and it roars, and as it roars it envelops Arthur, and he goes and his body completely freezes up. The Yeti is gonna make a strength check to just shove him out of the way. That'll do it. He picks up Arthur and just throws him to the side. He collapses unconscious right next to you, Eirys, and loses consciousness.
Yikes.
Arthur is knocked unconscious, friends, and is on death saving throws on his turn. That's the Yeti. Kyro.
Okay, can I move to right about here? And will the Yeti be flanked if Eirys is in stealth?
I did wonder that, because I'm not engaged with him, but I am right there.
I'm thinking maybe not, but I'm curious.
Describe to me what's going on. 5, 10. If you're gonna run around here, the Yeti's gonna see you come into the cave. There's no way that you can stay out of the Yeti's sight at this point.
Okay.
But you can move around and engage him.
Alright, so I'm unable to stealth, and that's okay. So I'm going to use this chance to spring up at the Yeti using my momentum from running/rolling into the cave.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to stab him somewhere where it will hurt.
Roll. As you do
and
so,
no advantage, I assume?
As you do so, Eirys, rule of cool. You're gonna lean up over Arthur's body and poke the Yeti on the shoulder. Kyro, roll with advantage.
Ooh, how nice. Thank you. Okay, that's a 25 on the first one.
25 hits.
13 damage, and I'll do the same with my offhand.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a 15. Does that hit?
15 hits. Don't forget it's just...
Alright. Does that also get benefit from my sneak attack?
No, you only get sneak
I
attack.
don't think so.
once a
Okay,
turn.
it's 3 damage then.
One sneak attack per turn.
Okay, guys. Sintyrr's turn. What are you gonna do?
Well, I'm gonna try again that cave first of all.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Could you scoop up the gnome?
And I think I'm also going to heal our poor friend over here.
Okay. What spell are you going to use?
Just give him a healing slap.
Okay.
And by that I mean lay on
Slap him
hands.
to life.
Oh, lay of hands. How many hit points would you like to restore?
I don't know. How many's you got?
You don't know.
Yeah, you
You
don't
could
know.
guess.
You don't know.
He's at 0 now, so
Yep.
Okay, let's like
at least 15.
yeah, let's give him. How many do I have even?
Yeah, how
It's
much can you
5
restore?
times your level.
Blah blah. Lay on hands.
It's 5 times your level.
Oh well, that's how many I've got. So here you go. Here's my whole pool.
Perfect.
Okay, so you just kind of slip in. You hear the yelling, so you're expecting the monster in front of you. You weren't expecting to see Arthur unconscious and still lying, blue to the skin. His skin is blue in color. You just kind of lay your hands on him, and the
And I'm
radiant
just
energy
like,
flows
hey,
in.
wake up! And I smack him on the back of the head.
And he opens his eyes, just like, ow! Thanks! Huh. He's still prone, like he's still on his back.
Well, at least you're
Ella.
not dead.
Ella,
Hello!
welcome to the game.
Hello.
Can you see what's going on?
I can, yes.
What would you like to do? Yells triggered an avalanche.
Yes.
What? No idea.
So we're all. Yeah,
There's
y'all
no
kept shattered
connection.
twice and killed all the enemies, and then there's a bunch of snow's coming for us, and there's a cave.
There is no connection that I caused that snow.
Yeah, it's possible the avalanche was already in progress before we got here.
Yeah, and the shatter spell had nothing to do with it.
No,
Yeah,
the two loud booms did not loosen any snow.
Thank you. I'm so glad you all agree.
Is there some sort of yeti in that cave?
Yes.
Yep. Right in the doorway too.
And you can probably tell because it's roaring and whatever.
Okay.
You can hear
I'm
the-
currently
But
up.
if you don't go in the cave, the snow will get you.
You also have inspiration, by the way.
Yes.
Oh!
And heroism.
Yep, 4
Oh!
bonus temporary hit points. So you're loaded, my
Yeah.
friend.
You are
Oh.
buffed, and you are ready. You also used a 2nd level spell slot, I believe.
Yes, I've marked that on your
But you have
character sheet.
everything else.
What did I use?
Guiding bolt at 2nd level to seriously damage one of the ice wolves.
Yes.
Sweet!
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Take point on that. What do you want to do?
Okay. How far can I move?
25 feet, or if you dash, 50.
Oh, thank God, you can just get into the mouth of the cave.
Well, I might get, yeah, I think I'll just go get into the cave, considering there's an avalanche coming.
20, 25. You're able to do that. You see the great creature roaring in front of you. The just about revived body of Arthrin that still looks crazily cold and shivering on the ground. Sintyr's kneeling next to him, hands outstretched. Kyro having
Poor
just
little
stabbed it in the
popsicle.
side. And Eirys now very much engaged.
Oh, okay.
That happened quick.
I got engaged, you guys.
Miss Eirys Yeti.
What would you
Me and the Yeti.
What would you like to
Oh,
do?
right, because she's engaged
Love
with
at first
Yeti.
sight.
Engage with.
Sorry, I'm afraid I'll have to kill your fiance.
Oh.
Okay.
How do you
used
not
my
survive?
movement.
It's the 21st century.
Yeah. It's me and my lady Yeti, jeez.
Amazing.
It's the
Ella,
hair
do
that does it.
something. It's your action. What are you going to do?
Cast
You can
Sacred
either-
Flame?
That's a good one.
Okay, it's going to make a dexterity save. It makes a roll of 12. What's the spell save DC?
Hang on, bear with.
I hope it's at least 12.
It is. Spell save DC is. I believe 11.
Okay, so it makes it. So you come in and you're kind of like, you're stunned to see this huge beast. You heard the roars, but seeing it with the wounds over its body and kind of Arthur still lying at its feet, you're kind of stunned and you let out the energy and it just kind of coalesces a little bit too far behind it and just doesn't make any damaging impact.
Oh, man.
Yell, it's
Uh-oh.
your turn. I'm going to assume that you want to run into the cave.
Yeah.
phew. I'm
Where
glad
would
that the snow
would-
has not
where would
yet
you like to
caught
end up?
you.
Well, considering I got 30 feet, I'm guessing I'm going to have to go that way and then squeeze past everybody.
Okay, so you end up there. As you run, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no,
yay.
time to
I'm
dodge some
great at those.
snow.
Goodbye, Yell.
No, not my best friend.
14 plus. Ooh, I get a +3 on those saves. 17.
17. Okay, you kind of
Yeah.
as you run across, there is a explosion on the top of the kind of rocks that form the mouth of this cave of snow, like, and you see it, and you duck out of the way as a massive kind of ice shard flies immediately to your left, exploding in the space that you were occupying just a moment before. You kind of you slide, you make a sliding football tackle move into the cave, and as you
Indiana
do,
Jones style.
Meh.
I grab
as
for
you
my
do,
imaginary hat.
Sintyrr and Ella and Yell, there's just an explosion of falling snow from just behind you. Oh my god, guys! You have avoided the you've avoided certain.
That was amazing.
You have done your move. I'm gonna say that was just.
I mean, I still have 5 more feet.
Yeah. Where do you want to move?
I want to move there so I can get it on that Yeti.
Okay.
Are we
you're
trapped in this
about
cave
engaged.
now?
Everyone's in on my Yeti.
It's okay. We won't die in here, probably.
Yeah, I guess we
No.
can dig our way out eventually.
Absolutely not.
I was
Don't
gonna say,
because-
is the
Hey,
mouth of
first
the
we
cave
have to not
completely
get
covered?
by a Yeti, so
At the
don't
moment,
get
there's
ahead
just
of
still
yourself.
a storm of snow just falling from above, collapsing.
Okay,
onto
so we
the
don't know yet.
ground.
Mm,
Think of
alright.
Caradhras and Fellowship of the Ring when Saruman like brings the snow down, just that kind of
Yeah.
rain of snow falling.
This is gonna be very good. I love these kind
Right.
of scenarios. We're trapped in a cave together.
Yeah,
Great, now we've got to
you-
talk.
Are you going to attack?
Yeah, I am. I'm going to pull out my sword.
You're going to pull out.
I'll pull
Oh,
out my magic
What's-
willy.
What's okay.
Yeah!
I was like, what sword? You could have done any
Yeah.
sword, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking about my magic willy here.
I'm glad you didn't pull out your rusty sword.
this
That's true.
is
It's much better than my rusty willy.
the greatest D&D game ever. Please roll with advantage because Kira's on the other side.
And with a defensive flourish,
Flanking's my favorite maneuver!
I am going
We.
to slash at this Yeti.
Okay, you're going to have to remind me what that means.
Defensive flourish, whenever you take the attack action on your turn, your walking speed increases by 10 feet until the end of your turn. If the weapon attack hits, you can expend 1 use of Bardic Inspiration and deal extra damage equal to the number you roll on the die. You also add that number to your AC until the start of your next turn.
Holy crap, that's crazy. Roll it.
Yep.
Least we use this Yeti
11
for
plus 5, so
rations.
16 to hit.
16 hits.
Right, cool. So I get 1d8 plus a d6 plus 5.
Holy crap, guys.
8 plus 2 plus 5 is 15.
Holy shit. This guy's only been hit twice. And he sustained 31, actually 15 was it?
Yep.
31 HP damage. You guys, level 3 is a big jump in ability.
Oh yeah. Plus the power of teamwork on top of that.
Yeah, man. So, Yell, you kind of flourish out my magic willy, and
Whip it out.
cut across the front of in fact, the back of the creature as it was just stabbed in the back by Kyro, and it turned, and you just swing again, and you basically exacerbate that existing wound, and dark bracken black blood just rushes
Ew,
out.
gross. Maybe we
um,
shouldn't eat the Yeti.
and splashes over Arthrin.
It doesn't
who's
look
like,
healthy.
Oh God, no! Ah!
Arthur, stop your complaining. Why are you lying down?
Eirys, it's your turn. What do you want to do?
I would
Oh,
like
Yell's
to
turn.
just for flourish and hopefully this doesn't go horribly wrong. Jump up onto the Yeti's back, pull my blades out and try and like stab it in like kind of either side of the base of its neck.
She's
Like,
meleeing.
Same time.
Acrobatics.
I want to nail my Yeti.
Wow. Yeah, that could have chose better wording there, man.
It was intentional. I
I
can
don't
assure you
like
that.
Could have. Excuse
You know me so well.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been as awesome.
So first, is that an acrobatics check?
Acrobatics check.
Okay. 16.
Yeah.
Okay, you jump and your foot finds Perseus, but then it slightly slips and you grab onto the shoulders and you're there. You're gonna get it into his neck, not into its face, but it's there. What do you want to do?
Oh, that's what I meant. Like it's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of collarbone area.
Okay.
And then 2 daggers into either side.
I'm gonna say roll with advantage because he's facing away from you.
Okay. So
Oh,
this
yeah, I
is my
forgot
main
about
hand.
advantage. Oh well.
Oh, neither of those were great, but this is for a dagger. So the first one is a 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, cool. So 1d4 plus 4.
And then the next
So
two
my
are
main
6.
hand is 7,
Okay.
and then my offhand. Oh, that was much better. Okay, that was 24.
Okay. Roll the damage.
No
modifiers.
and then just
a D4.
1d4, no modifier. That is a 4. So, what did I say first? 7 for my main hand, 4 for my offhand.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, nice.
So 11.
Eirys is currently planted with her feet into the small of the Yeti's lower back, grasping onto its shoulders and just going basically digging the daggers into either side of the Yeti's head and holding on.
Am I able to use a bonus action to hide? Jump off and hide?
Offhand is a bonus, technically.
Oh, it
Yeah,
was. Sorry,
the
I
offhand
forgot.
is a
No,
bonus attack.
ignore me.
Yeah.
I forget.
Thanks for that, Arby. That's good. Arthurian gets up onto his feet and
Steer the Yeti into the snow.
throws his longbow to the ground and unsheaths his sword, just like, oh fuck this, and swings. He does so with advantage. Kyro, that placement is perfect.
I love flanking.
It is 19 longsword. Longsword is D8, isn't it?
D8 unless wielded in 2 hands.
Flanking is my new favorite activity.
I one hand my magic really because I get more damage if I do that.
Okay. Deals 5 hit points of damage to the Yeti. The Yeti kind of like buckles, and Eirys, you kind of have to hold on for kind of dear life as it buckles. He hacks at its left leg, and it kind of goes down onto its knee. It's still alive,
It's just hanging on.
and it's gonna turn. Eirys, you're still on its back. Make a strength saving throw because he turns around suddenly and violently.
She's be right back in a second.
Oh, okay. All right.
He roars.
He's gonna. She can do that afterwards. He's gonna roar. He's gonna see that Arthurian is up again, and he's gonna just like. Who is he gonna target? Is it gonna be Arthurian again, or is it gonna be? Okay,
Who's he the most pissed at?
Yell. He turns and he fixes you with a chilling gaze. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Natural 19 plus 2 is 21.
Wee.
Woo! Nah.
I like this dice.
Hee.
Okay. You, in essence, you see the kind of blue in its eyes come out, and then you see the color of Arthurian's skin, and you think, "Oh no!" And you steel yourself, and as he looks at you, you look back and you wink, and it looks a bit disarmed, and the magic it's trying to cast doesn't take hold. It then turns with its claws to go once, twice.
You turned a chilly moment into a steamy moment.
Oh, yeah.
Its claws roll-
Me and my magic will attempt to have that effect.
16 and 19.
They both hit.
Ouch.
Okay.
I only got a 2 on the defensive flourish, which is annoying.
Okay.
Would have preferred that one to be higher.
Yeah. I can't believe it. It's 2d6 plus 8, and Snake Eyes, he rolled 2. So you've
So
sustained
10 points.
10 points of damage.
Okay. In retaliation, I'm going to use a Hellish Rebuke.
Oh boy.
Oh
What save
Because
no!
I
does it
have
have?
I'm
What
gonna
save is it?
steal the kill.
So it's like, so I missed the thing, and then it slashes at me, right?
It looks at you with the chilling gaze. You look back and you're not phased, and he just goes whoosh, whoosh, with both of his arms trying to kind of rake across the front of your body, and it does make impact, but they're not as deep as it wanted them to be.
I'm just with my magic willy in my hand. I'm just going to lift my arm, point at it. My eyes turn deep black from their bright red, and just in a kind of infernal type voice, "Is that all you got?" And it needs to make a dex save.
Okay. 13.
That is the DC.
Which means it succeeds, so it will take half as much damage. The moment that you recite those words and raise your hands, it realizes something's up, and it kind of moves out of the way, but not quick enough to not get impacted by some of that explosion of fire on its body.
17 halved.
That's 8. 8. Yell. How do you want to do this?
Ooh.
So yeah,
Can you just talk it to death?
yeah, pretty much. So yeah, as I say, like, I lift up my sword, holding my hand, holding the magic willy.
Yeah.
I just point, and as my eyes go black, the flames around it start to appear, like forming kind of like a pentagon type shape, and they just burst outwards in a star shape, making like a 3D thing as it just crumples to the floor.
Yeah, and the burning body of the Yeti, the flames
Kyro
flicker for a
dodges
while.
out of the way.
and it's in there. Eirys, can you make a strength saving throw?
Yeah. And my strength is so bad too. I rolled a 3, and my strength is -1, so that's a 2.
So you, as it
saving throw. No, same 2.
as you turn,
Sorry.
as the Yeti turned around when you were on its back to attack Yell, it turned with such ferocity that you were flung off of its back. Did you use your reaction in your last turn?
I don't think
No.
I've got anything. No, I didn't use my reaction though.
Make a dexterity save.
Okay, that I'm better at, and I rolled 13. 13 and dex saving throw, which is 6. 19.
Okay, so you're flung off the back, and you didn't manage to hold on, and actually you let go as your daggers as you were flung off, so they're still in the Yeti's back. You fly across the room in this direction, and you fly a number of feet, and then you just twist around in the air and just boom, 3-point landing. Nailed it.
Oh, at least I made it look cool.
I'll say it was that, not quite as far. So yeah, it collapses down. The flames that are enveloping its body quickly fade to nothing in the cold air and in the stony ground that doesn't provide the fire any fuel. And all of you guys breathe a sigh of relief,
Nice.
and
Do
the
some after
sound
battle
of-
stretching.
the sound of deafening snowfall of the drift that's just ploughing into the pathway around the mountain echoes around and in, and it's deafening for a number of moments. We'll take it out of initiative order at this point. What would you guys like to do?
Well, first
I'd like to
order
get
of
my
business
daggers.
for me
Mm-hmm.
is I would like to go loot the corpses.
Okay.
/
Well-
examine the corpses.
I
Okay.
would like to carve up that Yeti for its pelt and its meats.
That does
Yeah.
not seem advisable.
He's infernal-ish. He'll be fine.
Make a
I am cold. I am hungry.
make a
He's
survival
also
check.
a
Yeah.
direwolf we can eat.
Arthur comes up next to you, just like, hang on, wait, and he kind of starts guiding you and helping you onto like how to carve the pelts because he's done a little bit of this before, so you can roll with advantage.
Okay, so that 12 becomes a 12.
Okay.
Good job.
You carve
A 10
off,
and a 7.
You do okay.
You carve off the pelt. It's roughly half as kind of, you roughly get half of the pelt of the actual animal. The rest is kind of either impossible to detach or you don't manage to get it done properly. The meat that you procure here is probably good for like a day's worth of eating, if it's cooked properly. But it's not something that's gonna last. So it's something to either eat now or not at all, or try to eat now,
Yeah.
I guess.
I'll like to get my daggers back and then help with looting the bodies, please.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Kiro, roll with advantage because Eirys is helping with you. An investigation check.
Okay. Investigation? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think Eirys is better at the actual investigating, I think, if she wants to do the main roll with advantage.
It's your call.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
You seem smarter than me.
I'm not so sure. Okay. 16 plus 3, 19?
Okay. The body on the kind of bottom end of this, according to this map, is of a human male, barely patched up in very rough leathers. It's not really armor, it's more just kind of general clothing. There's a large axe strapped to his back, and what you notice is on his face, as you turn his face around, he doesn't have teeth, but there are stones where his teeth should be, small stones that make up the teeth around his mouth, and that stands out to you. He has a pouch on him that contains 10 gold pieces and 3 silver pieces.
Yeah, that's super weird.
I'll just split that money with you. What is it?
10 gold, 3 silver.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get 2 silvers out of it.
Okay. The other body over the way
5 gold.
is actually a drow.
Oh, unusual.
I'm gonna inspect the drow if I can, because I find that unusual.
Okay, make a perception check.
Alright. Shouldn't it be investigation?
You said that you're taking a look at it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you're looking at it, then make a perception check. If you're physically like patting it down, then make an investigation check.
I'll do the investigation on it.
Alright. Someone's echoing real bad.
Thank God for advantage.
I'm on headphones, so I don't think it's me.
Likewise.
Oh. Well, I got a 6, so... some drow died here.
Yeah, it's a drow. It's in actually. It's in kind of black.
I got
black cloak,
19.
over its head, and whitish hair. A 19 for its perception. You notice very specific jewelry on this drow. There's a nose ring that's made of a kind of cold silver, and a similar kind of metal adorns a number of rings on each of its hands, and that sparks something in you. That sparks a memory of a mining operation. There's something about the metal that kind of reminds you of home.
I'm gonna start stripping him of his valuables.
There are 4 rings, 4 silver rings. You can detach the nose ring if you want, and that's made of the same material.
I'll just rip it out.
And he has a purse that contains 23 gold, 17 silver, and 24 bronze.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
split that real
ask
quick.
to
How many
take a look
rounds?
at one of those
24?
rings,
24.
or one of the nose or the nose ring or something. I want to examine what the metal is.
Well, you can ask to borrow it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask if I could borrow it. I'll give it back.
Alright. He hands you the nose ring.
Alright. Can I identify what the metal is?
It's silver.
Okay.
It's silver that's very kind of, again, it's cold
Let
grey
me
and
split the
reflective grey in
streakies.
colour, and without knowing too much about the community that you came from, the kind of the strong mining kind of operation that was going on, mostly enforced by the matriarchy on pretty much male slave labor, was primarily revolving around the procurement of precious metals, of which cold silver, as it's called, is one of them. And you recognize it. You know, that's something that it's hard for you to not know.
All right.
The cold silver mines of your Drow society.
All right. So, I assume this was a woman.
The Drow that you see before you is a man.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of weird that he's wearing jewelry that. So he would have had to have been someone kind of important to be wearing jewelry, right?
Probably some consort or something.
Yeah, almost. But what's he doing up here if he's a consort?
He shrugs.
Consorts usually they're supposed to stay at home and be decorative.
Make a general intelligence check, Sintyrr.
Okay.
Kyro hands Eirys 12 GP, 9 silver, and 12 bronze.
Is that including the one we found earlier? On the human?
No, that's in addition to the one on the human.
Okay. How much is it again, sorry?
From the Drow, you got 12 GP, 9 SP, and 12 copper.
Yeah, I got a 15 for the intelligence
15.
thing.
So, you know that male Drow in your society almost exclusively operate under duress, meaning that they're forced into helping the females in your society do what they want to do. And
Yeah.
you don't know how deep that runs. There must be some men who profit in this society, but if it's true that
happens.
like the working kind of caste and class is basically shat on, maybe it runs further up the class system, and maybe some Drow take it upon themselves to sneak away and get themselves free to whatever end. I mean, hell, you know that Kyro has basically escaped from his situation. You've done the same.
Okay, I'm back. I missed some things, and also it's echoing horribly.
Yeah, I'm hearing that as well.
I think it's Zoe's mic.
It's like an odd feedback.
No, sorry.
That's fine. Are you guessing you're hearing it through the monitor?
Yeah, I haven't got headphones or anything.
It might be either turning the monitor down or moving the mic away, because I used to have it before I had headphones. It used to do that for me.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
That better?
I was saying that
Think
in
so.
essence, Sintyrr, what you've done is you found a male who's likely escaped in the same manner that you and your son has.
Okay. Seems like maybe he stole some of his mistress's jewelry on the way out.
It's likely.
Or it's just what he had on him.
The sound of the
And
snow.
he
falling outside
says
is
like,
starting to fade.
this is definitely stuff that was mined from the underground though. This is cold silver. You recognize it?
Kyro shrugs.
He's like, yeah, this is from the underground.
Kyro wants to investigate the cave to see if there are any, like, other ways out of the cave.
Okay.
Or deeper into it, or what have you.
Okay. You can make an investigation check again if you want.
Okay.
The dead winter wolf is quite apparent. It's been dead for, actually, you see, not for all that long.
Oh, good. Maybe Arthrin or whoever can make that into food. Alright, I got a 12 on investigating.
You kind of run your hands around the cave's interior. There are cracks, there are crevices that you would see as optimal hiding places for somebody of your mindset. This cave doesn't lead anywhere. It's just this little alcove that you're standing in, and that's it. And
Okay.
Yell, as the kind of falling of the snow outside starts to recede, you turn, and indeed it appears that there is a huge blockage in the door that runs from the base to the ceiling.
Did I find any items or anything of interest in my investigating?
No.
Okay.
No.
Are either of the humanoid bodies? Are they? Do they have any like wooden bows or anything flammable?
I mean, their clothing you could see if you can make a fire from.
We can
Yeah,
also
we'll do it.
use some of the animal pelt / fats from the animals.
Yeah, you could try burning the
Yeah.
animals.
I use what I can. Set up a fire in the middle.
Make a survival check.
Oh, I don't know if I'm so good at that. If anyone sees Eirys pathetically trying and failing, oh, I got 4. What's my modifier?
I'm good. I want to nudge Arthrin in the shin.
Arthur kind of
Okay,
stumbles
it's a
forward, just
7.
like, hey, no, that's fine. Just listen. You got to build up from the center, okay? You got to put a little small mound in the middle and just start building around it. It's like this. He rolls. He gets a. Oh, is it wisdom?
Kyro is mild.
Yeah,
impressed with
He,
his
survival
ability.
is
he rolled a 15. So it's not amazing, but then the parts that you had weren't fantastic. From the clothing, and you do find a short bow on the Drow, which you're able to break up into small bits of wood. And from the kind of
Burn all of the leathers
detritus
and
around,
garbage.
from the leathers of their clothing, you're able to make a small fire. It's not massively warm. It provides
You should
light
take
enough
the opportunity to
illuminate.
cook the meats.
Make a. I'll say somebody here can roll survival with advantage, as everybody just basically plows in. You kind of take some of the meat from the wolf and the meat that Yale's got from the Yeti to try and cook a meal.
Okay.
Can I investigate the dead human?
Yeah, I mean, it's already been investigated. You go back over to it. You see the now mostly naked male, because you've used most of his clothes for the fire.
Yeah, I had heard about like his stone teeth, and I've never heard of. I mean, I've heard of wooden teeth before, and
Stone teeth is weird.
As you look a bit
stone teeth is new.
Yeah, as you go a bit closer to this humanoid figure, and he is massive. He would stand 8 feet tall. He is huge. You kind of turn his head around. There's tattoos around his bald head over into his eyes, a very angry kind of skull-shaped tattoo that occupies most of his face. And as you move the lips aside, one of the stone teeth kind of falls out into your hand as it does. This guy's been here a while.
How tooth-shaped is it? Like, is it really well made, or is it just sort of they stuck some stones in here because he needed teeth?
Make a nature check. Or no, a medicine check, sorry. Understanding the human body.
Okay.
Or the humanoid body.
I mean, let me check. Medicine is... Yeah, dirty 20.
Okay, so that's a great roll. You kind of look at the shards of stone, and it is crudely made, and it occurs to you that the way that they're angled would either imply that it is a procedure that's been done very quickly, or that it's a procedure that's been done by this individual having lost his teeth to give him something to eat with.
So I kind of wince at this and like, and then I start thinking like, how do you lose his teeth? That he would have to replace them with whatever he found around. Also, like, it looks like he was probably killed by the Yeti, right?
Oh yeah, this is a Yeti cave. The bodies are the prey of the Yetis.
Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing that would indicate otherwise.
No, whatever injury this man sustained was, which required him to have stone teeth, happened long prior to him coming up here.
Okay.
If
So,
nobody has anything,
I'll pocket the tooth out of curiosity and move on.
You can now add 1 stone tooth to your inventory. So I'm going to say that you guys in the coming hour or so are able to make the fire and are able to cook food for everybody for the day. That is the meat that you can get from the carcasses around.
yes. After
So does this count as a
we're
short rest?
done,
I was just about to ask.
probably.
Oh yeah, you can take a short rest here.
If none of the other party members are mentioning anything, Kyro's gonna bring up. We should probably take shifts trying to dig out.
I would.
Yeah, go on.
That nobody went down that fight. Good fucking job, everyone.
Oh yeah. That was good.
Arthur kind of looks at you, just like.
Oh yeah, you totally did.
Well, he was up again so fast, it was like it didn't even happen.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry. It's just I was
No.
expecting.
No, I'm just.
I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. Maybe that's the problem.
Well, nobody really expects to find the cave they're running into to escape the avalanche has a yeti in it. I think it's fine.
I appreciate that.
You get used to it, Kyro says.
Ella, you notice that Arthrin is huddled around the fire, really, really close. He's trying to get every inch of warmth that he can around it.
He needs a warm hug.
Yeah, Ella. You're up.
Maybe Luke said Eirys.
Oh no!
I don't know if Eirys is that type.
It's right. Ella can teach Eirys how to hug.
This is how you do it, Eirys.
Kyro's gonna go ahead and start digging out of the snow. Hopefully someone joins him at some point.
Okay.
Yell.
Yo,
You did that thing at the gate. You, exploded. Do you think that
No.
might help? I notice everything.
Oh yeah, you think you can
Huh.
start another avalanche that'll cause
That'll
this
bury us even
avalanche to
deeper.
go away?
Well, I don't want to have a cave-in though.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
don't.
that's
don't
kind
do
of where
that.
we are.
Yeah, don't do
Okay.
that. Rocks fall, everyone dies, right?
Yeah. Arthrin kind of perks up and says, "Listen, the explodey spells trapped us in this cave. Maybe the solution is not to cast more explodey spells."
Well, you
Kyro points at
happen to
Arthrin.
be in luck.
Yeah.
Because I'm out of explodey spells. That will do what we want.
Oh, thank goodness.
Arthur, you help me dig this.
I can make a really loud bang in here, though.
No!
Not helping. He walks past and goes over to Kyro. Kyro, you can roll.
Nice, he did what I
um,
said.
You can
Good.
roll a strength check with advantage because Arthur's giving you help trying to pull away. The
Sure.
snow.
We could take 10 and just do it, but yeah, this is fine. I'll roll. We'll see if we
I
can do
walk
it
over to
fast.
Arthrin and put my cloak on him.
Ooh.
Oh, thanks.
So is this a strength save or just athletics?
You can do athletics.
Okay, they're both the same. So
I'll go ahead and help too.
I'm going to walk over to Ella quickly and just whisper.
Oh, that's. I don't
oh my
think I
god,
did that
Eirys,
correctly.
talk to me.
D20.
Cool kids.
That's a fail.
I want to help digging.
Oh, I got
That's my
a
name.
dirty 20. Well, we should
Okay.
take turns because it might take a long time, and we don't want to all be tired.
It's good that you had advantage because that natural one would have been trouble. Your dirty
No.
20 is enough
Would-
for you and
Just
Arthur to
broke my
start.
arms.
You basically decide that you're going to start by propping each other up, giving each other boosts and clearing from the top downwards. And
Oh, good idea.
Eirys,
I like
you
it.
step away as just a increasingly large pile of snow. In essence, Sintyrr, as you run across, you all help each other kind of move snow backwards further into the cave to clear out the way. And
Yeah,
in
nice.
essence, what you do in the next 10 minutes or so is you clear about a foot of space from the ceiling of the doorway downwards, and you're digging 1 foot in across.
Does
2
our
feet
friend
in
look like
across.
he's does he seem to have, is he stronger, do you think, than Kyro, by looking at him?
Hang on, just give me a second. As he works, yeah, okay. Arthrin starts to look really, really haggard as he works.
Oh.
He kind of ends up kind of like coming down after like digging up. He's basically you've carved a bit of a wedge into the snow up, and you don't know how far in it goes, and it's just to the point where you don't know if it's going to hold or not. And then he kind of comes down and he's shivering and just like, look, I'm sorry, can I just take a break,
Yeah.
please?
Yeah, go take a break, dude.
Thanks. And he kind of goes over towards the dying embers of this fire. Yell, what are you doing?
Well, first of all, with all the snow that they made,
Hmm.
I would like to make a snow angel.
Make a performance
I
check.
look really annoyed at him for doing that. I'm like, listen, you got us into this. You should be helping.
I'm just
Uh,
gonna like, put some
snowman.
snow on top of him.
That is
I
a
like it.
26 performance.
Holy shit. Not only is this a
a beautiful
perfect snow
snow
angel, you make a snow halo at the top of it, and it's really convincing. It like sticks out of the snow.
It's
and-
because of
You
his
know what's
horns.
really ironic? The fact I'm part demon.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I start helping shovel snow as it's strength based. I have a good strength.
I approve of this.
It'd be amazing if, because of like the imprint of him, the angel has horns and then a halo.
Yeah. So who has good strength? Sintyrr, you can roll with advantage if you like.
All right. Okay, good thing advantage because that was a 3. And then I crit.
Since
Natural
Yell's
20.
joining, I'm gonna shift
Yeah.
to not
Okay.
digging.
Yeah. So, Yell and Sintyrr, you take point, and as you do, the benefit of that presents itself because another 10 minutes later, you kind of try and make it a like diagonal upwards sort of slant through the snow, and you get an additional 10 feet immediately, and then there's a sound of as your hand breaks the surface of the snow, and
I satisfyingly punch my way out.
Yeah,
And-
because a lot of the avalanche probably would have fallen
Mm.
down the cliff, likely.
powdery,
Well, it's still-
powdery snow just like
Oh god.
expands around you, and you see about, let me just check the map, from where you are, I'm going to say you've dug up to here, you can see about 20 feet further ahead of you the snow keeps on going and then suddenly stops.
Question.
What's your question?
Which way off the mountain did the snow fall? Because the mountain was connected to a town.
Oh, that's like days travel away though. It depends on how.
I'm pretty
It'll
sure
probably
that's
fine.
it'll probably get caught up in some trees before it hits town.
like it'll be barely anything by the time it hits town.
Yeah.
I mean, you
it'll
get,
be
you get
like
the sense that you
of
kind
some
of
powder.
you can
Plus
take a
they have
closer look
walls.
over. Yeah, you can take a look over like the edge if you like as you guys climb free, but yeah, like it seems that like the relatively small, it was big for you guys, but the relatively small avalanche that you triggered seems to have been collected a lot by the pathway that you're on, because it's stacked up like from the pathway that you were walking on. It's stacked up a good 30 feet high. That's a lot of snow across this pathway. Some more has fallen off the edge in this direction, but I mean, it's difficult to know, really. Anyway, you guys have broken
How's
through.
Arthur looking?
There's a small tunnel. Ella, you watch as Arthur kind of shudders and shivers next to the dying embers of
Okay.
the fire. It pretty much goes out at this point, and then you hear a chorus of "Hooray!" as Sintyrr breaks through the snow.
See, told you making a snow angel will help. It made the gods happy. Some.
I'm
Powered
gonna.
up the paladin with God's power.
Yep.
Quite right.
I'm gonna turn to Althrin and say, "Are you okay? Do you need any healing? You look a bit rough."
I'm just cold. That he did something. I don't know what happened. He just looked at me and I suddenly froze.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys know how to cast any sort of fire stuff?
I don't do any of
It
that weird magic.
sounds
shit.
like he needs to like get some sort
Weird
of
magic shit. Oh, rude.
like
Yeah, I'm mostly addressing
like a some sort of rejuvenation type thing.
I'll be
Or
fine.
what
He kind
do you
of like just about stumbles onto his feet and he just kind of like jumps on his spot a little bit, almost losing his balance as he does. I just need to get some circulation, just get the blood flow.
Get walking.
Aren't 5
I mean,
points
that
of,
that would probably help. Yeah.
aren't 5 points of lay on hands worth the equivalent of a lesser restoration?
You're right.
If it's a frozen thing condition.
I've
mean,
actually
since-
got lesser
since
restoration.
Since
Oh, is that? What does
might-
lesser
that might
restoration
help.
actually do? Because I'm not sure exactly what condition this is, but it may
Because
help.
I think he's got some sort of hypothermic condition. I don't know.
What would you like to do, Ella?
Well, let's give it a go.
You kind of raise your hand and it's glowing, and Arthur kind of looks a bit weirded out, and then kind of calms himself down and takes a knee next to you because you only come up to his waist.
Oh.
And
Aw.
you lay your hand on his shoulder, and the magical energy floods through him, and holy, wow! What was that?
Just a awesome little spell I recently learned.
That was amazing.
And I do a little dance, a little wiggle.
Does he look better?
He laughs and he stands. He picks up his longbow, which is still on the ground, puts it on his back, and he goes, "I'm still a bit chilly, but I feel way better. I think I'm good to go."
Great, I'll take my
Yeah!
cloak back then. And I grab my cloak off of him and put it back on.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Oh, the kindness only lasted 2 minutes.
Iris is kind of she
So-
lets on.
Does anyone
Oh,
need
tell everyone.
Shit.
Okay.
Shall we go?
Yeah.
You wouldn't join our band.
Okay. So you guys have cleared a small way, and then if you guys want to leave, it will take you a few minutes to kind of squeeze everybody through the narrow kind of tunnel way.
Oh,
kind
before we go,
yeah.
can I just gather up some snow and like build a snowman?
Can you
I
say
was
that
going to
again?
ask the same thing.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear it.
Snowman.
Oh, the snowman. Yeah, you're gonna grab up. Okay. I'm confused. Can you just
I was
say what you
gonna-
just said again,
I-
Ella? Because I'm not sure I heard you.
You can use the
What
stone
stone?
teeth as eyes.
I was gonna gather up the snow and build a snowman.
And I wanted to do that too.
Okay, make a performance check with advantage as Yell helps you before you leave.
And what race are you making?
He's a snowman.
Round.
Is he a snowman? Is he a snow?
It's a snow.
He's
Now
a
for snow
snow person of indeterminate gender.
Oh, I like it.
I got a 10.
Diversity.
You've got advantage because Yell's helping you. Do you want to roll again?
Yeah, that was with advantage.
Okay, so it's something of a snow mound, the head and the body aren't really distinct. There's no neck region.
It
the
but it
way-
has a smiley face on it.
Yeah,
and
you
that
kind of
saves
put
it.
you put a couple of stone teeth in the eyes and a number of individual dots for the mouth.
Take the teeth from that guy!
Yeah, that's what they're doing. Yeah, you're taking the stone teeth
Smiley
and
face.
you kind of there's a scrap of leather that's charred by the fire on its side. You kind of grab it, you shake off the cinders and wrap it around and kind of squeeze hard, and it makes some kind of impression on the snow, and it looks kind of like a really fat neck. And a couple of twigs, just a couple, not even a couple of twigs. You kind of look over at the Yeti, snap, snap. A couple of ribs make the arms.
You're still a little bit bloody, and
Yeah, there's just like a little
I
line of
imagine the
blood going
blood's
down
kind
the
of
side.
frozen.
Yeah, it kind of, and then it animates and it goes, "Oh God, what have you done?" It doesn't do that.
Can you imagine if another Yeti stumbles across us and he's like, "They're monsters. Don't mess with these guys."
Yeti one shot incoming.
Oh man, too bad we don't have any necromancers in the party.
Honey heist, next generation Yeti heist.
Uh,
It's gonna happen. Oh my God.
I will be a Sasquatch.
Can I be Sasquatch too? Amazing.
sure,
Well, that's
double
the best fucking
Sasquatch.
snowman I've ever seen. What are we calling it?
Awesome, right?
It sure is. It sure is.
Iris,
What are we calling it?
Her eyes.
Oh. Mm.
Let's call it a
Ed.
day and get out of here.
Ed.
Call it a day.
Ed.
Ed the snowman.
Okay, Ed the Snowman. I thought Kyro's suggestion was really cool. Call it a day.
He's gonna
I like
he's gonna leave the cave with
Okay.
that good quip.
Friends, as you guys make your way out, you kind of turn around to Ella and yell to move out, and Arthurin is like, his back is pressed against the wall and he's staring at you with unbelieving eyes as to what you've produced. But as you guys crawl out of this
This
little
mound
tunnel,
of carnage that somewhat resembles
I
man.
didn't tell her.
More of
I
a
don't think he likes me.
snow shambling mound of some sort.
yeah. So there's a
I don't
tiny
think he likes
little
me.
he kind of watches you leave and kind of follows. He gives you a fair distance before he does. But there's a little tunnel way. There's a couple of hairy moments where there's a bit of a whoomph of snow that falls on Arthur in it.
And
Arthur
everyone
as he's
goes,
falling
"Ah!"
through.
I don't
But
do
the-
that.
All of you end up standing around the opening in the snowfall. How long does Bardic Inspiration last, Yell?
10 minutes, so it would
Oh,
have
that's-
gone by before the long rest.
Long gone. Okay.
Or short
so
rest, even.
It was a short rest, yeah. So you guys end up kind of standing around the kind of hole that you've dug out of this. The snow underfoot is loose, it is treacherous, and it is going to hinder your progress for a little while.
Ooh, rough terrain.
What I'd like everybody to do as you move along is make dexterity checks.
Oh, fun.
Ooh.
Good at
20.
those.
Natural 20,
Yay,
Eirys is owning it.
dex.
Are we able to use acrobatics or just straight decks?
You can use gonna say
It's fine.
it's nothing to do with flipping around, so it's just
Okay, plus one.
Do cartwheels.
What
Yeah,
about,
no.
what about
I wasn't
athletics?
sure, just checking.
Oh wait,
18.
that's strength.
18. Yeah, that's good.
Always gotta check to see if you can get that extra
Uh,
bump. No,
I've got 13.
Ah,
Okay.
15. Not
Kyro's
bad.
good. Ella, what'd you get?
9.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
you're kind of starting to slip around, and
She
you
just
kind of
follows
bumble. You,
directly.
you bumble a bit as you guys move forward. Eirys, you are just sure of foot as anything, but Ella, you kind of move around and you accidentally kind of walk in the way of Arthurin as he moves, and he starts to slip. Eirys, reaction, dex save.
Okay, 18, and my dex is pretty good. Saving throw +6, so 24.
Okay, so Arthurin just kind of like clatters into Ella from behind, and Ella's like, sorry! And Arthurin just goes, "Rah!" And he slips, and he starts sliding down towards the cliff, and just his arm is grabbed by Eirys. Your feet are planted. You kind of put your weight on deep on your feet, and your feet deep, like half a foot into the snow. You're secure, and you're holding on to Arthurin. Everybody else kind of stops a moment and turns to look. He's safe. He kind of looks at you, Eirys, and goes, "Holy shit! Thanks."
Yeah, you could have gone sliding all the way down that hill, and then
I know.
Sintyrr kind of like thinks about it. And he's like, "Hey, on the way back, you think we no?" I don't know.
I know what you were thinking.
I was just thinking.
Carol looks at him like he's an idiot.
You guys carry on walking along.
It's
I would like to
too
make a stove.
dangerous. But
I
it's-
just nod
but it
and
sounds fun.
get him stable and walk off.
All right.
I would like to make a small armful of snowballs as I walk around the snow.
That's another performance check. Yeah.
So he is way too happy about
Sweet.
that.
I'm suspicious. I'm suspicious, and I would like to prepare to dodge any snow he flings
So-
at me.
You've prepared an action.
I got a natural 20 with my performance. That makes it a 27 total.
Oh my god, the best snowballs ever.
That's how many snowballs you have in your arms.
I have 27 snowballs.
Yeah.
Oh
so
my god.
You can go full machine gun. Yeah.
Could I attempt to make a snowball?
Yes, you can make a performance check.
Okay.
Can I do too?
I will also try
Yeah,
to make a
performance checks.
snowball.
Performance checks for everyone.
It's now a arms race.
It's just in case. It's just in case.
17.
I want to be prepared. I also want to include rocks if I have them.
17. Ellie, you've got a good handful there. That's a good number of snowballs.
Alright.
I rolled a
Performance, huh?
6.
Sintyrr, you've got 3, but they are the bee's knees. These 3 are all that you're going to need.
Oh, sick! I got 20.
20. Yeah, you've got a big old bundle of well-formed, perfectly rounded snowballs. Not quite as big as Yell's pile, but you're there. You guys carry on walking until the path kind of widens and a bit of a clearing on the left that kind of cuts into the side of the mountain presents itself. There appears to be something that looks like a semi-frozen kind of lake that kind of flows in a very small stream across your path and then off the side of the cliff. It's picturesque.
I love a snowball
it's
at
covered
it.
in snow. Who are you throwing a snowball at?
At the river or the lake. See how
make,
good the ice is.
make an attack roll at
Oh, I
your
was
dexterity.
totally gonna do that.
Can I then throw a snowball at Yell?
Attack roll plus dex. Are you guys proficient with
19.
snowballs? I'm gonna say you guys are proficient with snowballs. So add your
I
proficiency
don't
as well.
know.
Yell, you
sweet.
you square it perfectly. It sails through the air and bloop, and you see a little kind of bubble of snow that you've just formed. It maintains its form in the water, belying the perfectly crafted nature of the ball, and it just flows across the stream and falls off the edge of the cliff.
I hope that doesn't hit someone.
Meanwhile, 100 feet down. Well, Clive, that was an excellent climbing expedition. Indeed, Ernest. Yes, nothing can ruin this day. Ah, shit!
100 feet. That snowball's at terminal velocity.
Yeah. Oh, Ernest, you appear to have no face.
Ernest just dies.
Oh no!
Nothing can ruin this day now. Ernest!
Ernest, I was going to propose.
Well,
Thanks, Yell.
You're welcome. I believe I was having one thrown at me.
Yeah, what did you roll? Ella?
Oh,
Say again?
I rolled a 5.
You let go of the snowball, it gets halfway to Yell and then disintegrates in midair.
I'm waiting for someone to aim at me, and then I want to take them out before they can hit me.
I chuckle. And
I suspect that that's what you're trying to do, and I'm waiting for Kyro to have his back turned.
Okay.
Can I
That never happened.
throw
you
one at
actually see the
Eirys?
snowball land.
Ella, throw one at Eirys. Arthur has formed some snowballs and is going to throw one at Kyro. And rolls.
Can I dodge?
Holy crap, a 21 to hit Kyro. So, Kyro, you're kind of keeping your eye on Yell because you're wary of him. And then an explosion of cold on the side of your face. And you turn and Arthur's there just like,
I immediately retaliate.
throw. As you do,
And while
your back is turned to
he's throwing,
Sintyrr.
while he's throwing at him, I'm gonna try to get
I'm gonna use my
Kyro.
bonus action to try to hit him again. 13.
13. Guys, we're actually having a full-on snowball fight. You miss. So the first one, the first one, he just kind of like it misses entirely. The second one is on target, and he kind of like he has a Matrix moment where it flies through the air towards him, and he just goes, just like a back. He leans back, and it just goes, occupying the space where his face was. He comes back up, and he kind of sticks out his tongue. Sintyrr, make that attack roll.
Yeah, hold on. Okay, yeah, what's my attack modifier for snowballs?
Dexterity and your proficiency.
Okay, so where did my? Okay, so that would be 22.
Oh, Kyro, yeah. There's another blast of cold, and it's on the back of your head, and it mingles with your hair and flows down between your clothes and your neck, down your back.
That's
And-
the worst.
Oh my god, the worst thing has
He's
been
so
done.
angry.
The father has committed a grave injustice against the son.
He's so mad. He's so upset.
And I'll say, for the sake of poeticness, it descends into chaos, and everyone's throwing snowballs around everywhere. Arthur gets wrestled
Mine
to the
do
ground.
damage.
Eirys
My
does not.
snowballs damage people. Question, what do I do about that?
Yeah, because he has
Snowballs-
rocks in his.
I'm trying to hurt them.
You didn't. You can throw as hard as you can, and if you, I'll give you 3 rolls, and if you get a nat 20, you can do. We'll talk about what damage you do.
No, I just figure it's like a point of damage or something. I just want them to hurt them.
I mean, subject to how well you hit them, because no one's trying to hurt each other, and snowballs they're made of frozen water, like powdered
Fine.
frozen water.
I
so
don't do it.
never
doesn't
so
hurt.
You get plenty of hits in, and you throw with like intent, but they kind of burst off shoulders, and kind of when they hit the face, it kind of glances off. So there's a lot of laughter and a lot of characters.
Kira did not enjoy
themselves.
this activity.
Did he? I'm sure he nailed Dad quite a few times.
Yeah, as soon as you kind of like did the snowball behind the neck thing, he just ran at you, just like pelt, 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 pelt. Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much like
and
shoving it
worst
into your
of all,
face.
he seems to be enjoying this.
Yeah, so he's laughing, and Ella's laughing, and Arthur's laughing, and Yell's laughing.
I just want to start
Question.
throwing rocks at them.
Would you like to?
Yes.
Okay.
At least one rock.
I'm
you're
gonna
move-
try to like stop him when he picks up a rock.
Yeah, okay.
Like, no, don't do that. There's no
He's gonna
need.
try to kick you. Don't.
Ow!
Make an unarmed strike.
Okay, what do I do for that again? Oh, wait, I have
with a
sheet.
kick, it's a d20 plus your strength and your proficiency.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still wearing armor.
Plus
Yeah, that's
1,
fine,
my
that's fine.
proficiency is +2. Okay, +2 then. 12.
You kind of move to kick, and your father raises his leg and kind of just blocks in a kind of like martial way.
I am wearing armor.
Yeah.
He's
So-
just like, let go of my arm!
I'm like, don't throw rocks. We're just all having fun.
He gives up.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to upset you. Okay.
He wants to keep moving forward to the mountaintop.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of feels bad now.
When
You guys-
Yell runs out of snowballs,
Yes.
could Yell fashion a snow cannon and then using his cantrip Thunderclap as the propulsion system to launch
Don't
snowballs?
do that.
Thunder!
Thunderclap is only a 10-foot radius, I believe.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Would you like to try this?
I would like to try this.
Make another performance check to form the cannon.
To form the cannon. 17.
Yeah, it's good. It's well formed. It's gonna perform its purpose well. It's not perfect, but it doesn't have to be. You kind of load in a larger snowball, about the shape, about the size of like a snowman head. Pop it on. It fits in nice and round, ready to go. Arthur is kind of like just like with his hands on his kind of upper thighs, above his knees, laughing at having pelted Ella. You think target acquired.
Okay. So, what do I need to roll?
Oh, I hate snowballs now.
What is thunderclap? Read
Oh,
Thunderclap
Oh.
technically is a con save against what I hit.
it. Okay. You said its
That's why
radius. Its radius is 10 feet, right?
Thunder sound could be heard up to 100. Never mind.
100 feet.
Yeah, I might not do that if it's 100.
Would you like? Okay, so we won't. But you've got a cannon. You've got a snowball there.
I've got a
Is there
cannon.
some kind of propulsion? Arthin's kind of still laughing there. A moment passes.
You've got is it thaumaturgy?
Oh, can you throw a glare at him to make him
I
stop
do have
laughing?
thaumaturgy.
As in intimidating.
Because you can use that to like a small gust of wind, or like the windows blow open. Like, could you use that to just
Just
in a
have the air between the cannon and the snowball to launch it.
like
Do
a
you know
local
what?
radius blast?
I'm gonna let you have that, subject to Arcana check.
Subject to Arcana. Okay. 13.
So, you kind of think to yourself, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? You remember back in the times of the tavern where you slammed windows open for like dramatic effect while you've been on the stage. You kind of think this is the
I
moment.
did the gust of wind when I picked up Magic
Yeah.
Willy.
Yes,
Or
you
Moon
did.
Willies.
So you remember all of those moments, and you bring that arcane energy with you again, and from the back, it blasts through the back of the cannon, destroying the back of the cannon, blasting the snow apart.
Yeah.
But it hits the snowball and launches into the air. Arthrin kind of like, you yell over at Arthrin, "Oi, Arthrin!" He kind of looks around like, "What?" Just bursts over him and half buries him in this clump of snow.
I
So
like that.
like all of his like upper torso and like around his chest area is covered in snow. His legs sticking out, his arms everywhere, and you kind of like it all goes quiet for a moment.
And I'll just add a snowball to the pile.
Yeah, and a lone snowball just goes off the top.
I have now
you
achieved
guys-
revenge. I once again like snowballs.
You guys hear a quiet sound that kind of becomes louder.
Another avalanche. Oh.
Oh no, not
Arthrin-
laughter from this
Arthrin-
mysterious snow.
Arthrin is just like laughing his head off as he lies on the ground. He's having the time of his life.
Aw.
I would then
I'm glad
like
he's
to
accepted his fate.
walk over, and before he can get out, start rolling him up so he's just like arms and legs outside a giant snowball.
Make a strength check.
Make a what check?
Wow.
Strength check contested.
18 plus 2, that's 20. Total.
He rolled an 11. He's not going to get in your way. You roll him up. You get to the side of the stream, and like the snow is amassed to a sizable ball that comes up to like your waist. And he's all messed up in it, and he's just kind of like,
So it's
okay,
his
okay,
head is just
Yeah,
sticking
so
out.
favorably.
it was a joke. It was a joke. I think this is going beyond a joke now. Come on, let me go.
It was never a joke.
I whack the
Arthur.
back of the ball just so it was apart.
Yeah, okay. And it bursts apart, and he kind of like sits next to the stream, and he's like,
Megan, can you turn the light off?
and he kind of like looks up. He's like, "You weren't going to push me into the stream, were you?"
No, why the fuck would I do that?
Yeah, right.
I saw an opportunity to roll you into a ball, so I did.
Well, I appreciate the restraint. He kind of gets up onto his feet, and he's brushing the snow off of him.
I'm not evil.
I hope not. I mean, you seem alright.
Laughs
Could be.
nervously. Kira doesn't. I just wanted to say that.
Did anyone hit Eirys with a snowball?
Yeah.
Nobody said that they did.
Maybe
Poor
they
Eirys.
know better.
Wow, but you hit me with a snowball.
Can I want to try and hit Eirys with a snowball.
Okay, I'm gonna say this will be the last little snow-related action because you know there are things.
Then
to
we
do.
should move on.
Um,
yes.
I know.
So
sorry.
make an attack roll.
Ooh, I rolled a 13.
Her class is 15.
Did she hit her? I guess so.
Her armor class is 15, so if you're at a
Yeah.
13.
Oh, no.
It depends
No.
on what your dexterity modifier is because you've got 15 because of your proficiency.
Ooh.
Oh, as in. Wait, what?
Your
What's
armor
the roll?
class is 15, and then
Yeah.
the roll was a 13 plus.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
plus my dex, which is 15.
Oh, okay. And I'll tell you what, you've met the armor class. I'm gonna run with this. Eirys, you see Ella out of the corner of your eye. You turn, and the snowball's already halfway between you, having been thrown by Ella. You reach out your hand and you catch the snowball in midair, but it kind of explodes into powder and kind of goes across your face and your body. But the moment's there, and you kind of have half of the snowball in your hand. And you kind of
I quickly duck behind my shield.
I only got 3/4 cover. Because you're a gnome.
Eirys just goes, and then just drops a snowball and keeps walking.
Snow time over, we're moving forward.
You guys walk forward for a little while. I'm going to say that you see out the rest of today. That was a considerable delay. You would have made it to the temple at the end of today, at nightfall, but it looks like at this rate you're going to get there probably mid-morning, early afternoon of tomorrow instead. Nothing else
It's
of note.
fine.
Nothing else of note significantly happens, with one exception. Can you just quickly list off your passive perceptions? It's 10 plus your perception skill.
Yeah,
Hearing or sight?
17.
I'm happy for it to be sight.
13.
Okay. Then 12.
13, 12. Anybody else?
11.
17 for me.
17. Okay. I'm gonna say Eirys is the only one who sees this. You're walking along, and the crags on the side of the pathway on your left, as you walk beyond the kind of scope of the avalanche and back onto the relatively level ground of this still fairly slippery mountain path that used to be a vast stair winding up the side of the mountain in a spiral, but has been worn away by footsteps and the elements over generations. You come to another turn around a kind of blind bend with a large shaft of stone on the left-hand side, and Eirys, you detect and you hear the sound of a whimper.
Of what, sorry?
A whimper.
Oh. Can I tell where it's coming from?
It seems to be just around the corner of the large shaft of stone on the left-hand side.
Wait, everyone.
I pause.
I wait.
Arthur and Sky. Okay.
I take out my
Can I indicate to Kyro? Like, just kind of like the 2-finger, like, come with me, and I stealth.
he nods and joins.
Make stealth checks.
Alright.
Mine wasn't very good. Oh, no.
14.
Okay, 12.
14. You kind of like move your way up to this kind of large stone crag that comes out from the side of the mountain and narrows the pathway a little bit, and you kind of.
Oh, wait. I've got a thing. Expertise. Okay, my proficiency bonus is doubled for stealth and perception. So actually, what's my proficiency? 2. So
Yeah.
this is 14 as well.
Okay.
Sorry,
so
not
you both rolled 14. All right. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. You kind of press yourself against the wall. Both of your left hands are on the stone, and you kind of think about your foot placement, and you're fairly sure you're not making much noise, though you feel like you're perhaps a little bit jaded from the day's travel. And as you approach the blind bend on the other side, you hear a voice. I know you're there. I know you're there. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I come in peace.
Suspicion.
I look at
what do you
Kyro.
see?
Can I peek around the corner?
you can make a perception check.
Natural 20 again! Woo! I like this dice.
What you see when you go around the corner is a winter wolf.
What?
What?
I want to kill it.
It's one of the. It seems to be, just by the look of it, and by the proximity you've had to winter wolves on the way up, it's immediately looks kind of like shifty. It sees you look around the corner, and it kind of goes, and it doesn't snarl, but it looks attentively in your direction. And actually, as you look over it, you can see on its midriff, behind its forelegs, you can see ribs. And,
It's dying.
And
Okay, so
it's at that point that you make eye contact with it, and you think, okay, this is a starving wolf. You get that in one brief moment, and then you move back.
Can I still see the other guys?
Yeah, the others are about 15, 20 feet behind from where you were.
Can I gesture to them to come forward, and I step around the corner?
I will.
Okay, they move. Everybody moves forward.
I'm gonna
Eirys, you take
move around to flank the wolf, but I'm not going to attack or anything.
I'm gonna draw my bow, but not fire.
As I walk around, I'm going. When I'm within 30 feet, I'm going to cast Bane on it.
It doesn't resist. Bane immediately takes effect.
What do you mean you come in peace?
Wait, what?
This one doesn't seem to be hostile.
It's because I'm not. I just want to survive.
Okay.
My pack has been.
What sets you apart from the others?
We've been attacked by your kind on the way up here.
I know. It's my pack that's been attacking you. But I'm the only one that's left.
Alright.
They're all
I'm
dead.
really fucking conflicted right now. I swore I'd kill you all.
What do you want?
I need food.
How is it that you are starving and the others were not?
You obviously weren't looking as closely to them as you are to me.
Well, there's some yetis buried in the snow back that way.
Why should we help you?
Guys,
Well, I'm not suggesting we do that.
Guys, he's a starving wolf.
Yeah.
But why?
Because
I'm
Always
asking because I
good?
have no other choice. All of my family are dead. I will die if I'm left on the mountainside on my own. If it's true what you're saying about the Yetis buried back around the mountain pass, I will try and scavenge everything I can.
We'll need to eat before then.
I cast Sanctuary on the wolf. Basically, he'll be protected as long as he doesn't attack.
Can you read out the spell description?
Yeah, you ward a creature within range against attack until the spell ends. Any creature who targets the warded creature with any harmful spell or attack has to make a wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save, they have to choose a new target or lose the attack.
Okay.
And also, if the creature attacks or casts a spell that has any effect on an enemy, then the sanctuary ends, and it lasts for a minute, basically. So I'm trying to make sure that nobody attacks the wolf and that the wolf doesn't attack anybody.
Yeah, you cast the magic, and the energy flows from you, and a kind of light kind of glows around the wolf and then fades. But Eirys, to your eye, you can see that there's a faint shimmer underneath the wolf's fur hair, that remains.
I have a proposition. We are heading up the mountain, as you know, and we're not planning on staying at the top. If we feed you, and you regain your strength, I want you to help us have safe passage back down and return.
Agreed.
Yeah,
We have the
That's
Yeti meat.
I think this is a perfectly fair compromise.
Okay.
You assist us on the way down. We leave you in peace. We feed you. You are able to live out the rest of your days on this mountain.
I was not expecting such generosity. Honestly, I'd given up hope on surviving.
Well,
You should never give up hope on surviving.
Well, you got this far, didn't you?
He looks around. Arthur kind of steps forward and he's like, "If I may," he goes, "It's just okay. It's all right. I'm not going to hurt you." He reaches into his pouch and he pulls out a piece of jerky from one of his remaining ration packs. Or has he eaten them all? Oh man, he didn't have that many, did he? I'm going to say that he's got like a single scrap of meat left and he kind of.
This is all his
it.
food.
Do we have any of the Yeti meat left?
I think we ate it all as part of our rations for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of rations.
We could head back and butcher the buried yetis and wolves there, but it's probably better just to head to the city.
I chuck him a couple of rations.
Temple. Whoops.
Okay. Arthur kind of extends with a single scrap of meat that he's been keeping on his immediate person in one of his pouches just for a snack while he's been walking. And the wolf kind of his snout goes backwards and then sticks out his tongue, laps, and then nibbles at the meat and stays wary as Arthur takes a step back. He looks at Eirys. You said that you were going to give him a couple of ration packs?
Chuck him down 2 rations. 2 days
Alright.
worth of rations.
The kind of paper bags kind of bury themselves into the snow around this wolf. And the wolf looks back up at you and is just like, I was not expecting this. I was expecting a swift death.
You may still have it, but not today. Regain your strength, and there are bodies buried further down the mountain once you're strong enough to dig for them.
Yes. I will do my best to get you safe passage. I will be on this path awaiting your return.
Nice. I don't say that out loud, sorry.
Nice!
I
think that to myself quietly.
I seem happy about this exchange.
Kyro's definitely more relaxed. He looks less like he's planning to attack the wolf immediately.
I head on past the wolf as if to keep going.
Yep, heading back up the mountain.
Arthur follows. And as Ella, you're the last to kind of pass. And as you do, you kind of glance to your left. The wolf looks at you, looks at the packs, and throws caution to the wind and just rips the nearest bag open and just tears into the breads and the cheeses and the meats inside. It's gonna make him ill. He doesn't care. He's going to live.
I kind of do a slight jump and squeak and kind of run.
I make sure there's no chocolate in there.
There is no chocolate in a standard adventuring ration pack, no.
Oh, good.
We're not rich
Where's
people.
my Cadbury's?
These aren't school lunches.
You realise that one of the ration packs you threw was a Christmas special that's comprised entirely of chocolate.
She's alright.
Whatever. He's a big old winter wolf. It'll probably just give him a yucky tummy.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be fine.
The wolf will live, thanks to your generosity, and you guys carry on along the mountain paths.
Thanks to our leaving those dead corpses behind.
It's going to be a while before that wolf finds them because they're buried so deep, and indeed some of them were blasted clean off the edge of the cliff. But it's likely that he's going to live. even
Sure.
if the scraps of what you left in the cave.
You can eat bones and stuff,
He
probably.
can eat the humanoids in the cave. We didn't eat them.
That's true.
Mhm.
Anyway, you guys carry on for a little while longer. The sun sets, the snow starts falling again, and the time comes to make camp. For the sake of expediency and finishing this up, because I know it's been a while, you guys have a restful night's sleep. Everybody takes a turn watching, but everybody gets a long rest, so you can take that now. I just need to make it sure. Arthrin is out of food now. He's done. Does everybody have food with them for the next day?
Yes. I do not.
Mhm. Oh, I got some. Don't worry.
So
Okay.
Sintyr's out and Arthrin's out, so somebody needs to feed both of those people.
It's
Did
alright, I'll
we feed
feed them.
tonight, or did the Yeti feed us for this day?
The Yeti fed you for the entirety of the next day, which I suppose does carry on to tomorrow. It's just in terms of what happens after that.
As if tomorrow we're going to need something. Okay.
Yeah. Just bear it in mind. So Sintyrr and Arthrin, just keep your mind open. You guys wake up the next day and make your way up to the path, and the winding stops. And on your left-hand side, the true kind of peak continues for another few feet above to a point, and there's a big old plain, a sort of like field that's long since snowed over, with sparse vegetation that's been blown to almost death by the bitter cold wind blowing across this kind of mini valley between another peak, which you can see on the right several miles in further along. But what grabs you is what comes next. And here I need to look up my reading. As your aching legs continue the relentless pull up this steep mountain path, the stairs once carved here worn away by generations of feet, ice and bitter wind, your eyes gently move up as the gradient begins to level out. You catch something in the middle distance as you continue. The snow is billowing around fiercely, and it's difficult to identify how large the building ahead of you is until you've practically reached it. As if the gods are satisfied with your endurance, the snowfall softens and the fog thins. With a sudden rush of vertigo, you realize this temple stands at the edge of a vast precipice overlooking the continent of Ufai below. The temple is, as you expected, ancient. Huge lumps of rock form dense black bricks that comprise the walls of what appears to be a two-story building. A main chamber immediately ahead of you, and two wings branching out from the left and the right-hand side. From its center, a spire rises higher than even the summit, flanked by a stained glass window that rises with it. You struggle to see what it may be depicting. There appear to be a number of coloured sections. To the right-hand side of the building is a small fenced-off field, where a small herd of yak huddle together for warmth amidst maybe a few goats. A huge stone door taking up a large section of wall stands before you. There is a knocker on either half of the door, round circular handles that can be used to rap against the stone. What would you like to do?
Kyro's kind of fascinated with the yaks.
Who's gonna knock?
I cast Thaumaturgy to knock.
You do so. And boom, boom, boom. Echoes fly around the walls, and the ancient stone statues that you now see regularly spaced in the walls in small alcoves, depicting all manner of ancient warrior heroes around the exterior. Nothing happens.
I want to try to push the doors open.
And then
Or pull them,
and then
if
I
that is
ask,
the type of door they are.
I ask, who are we expecting to find up here?
Some monks, probably. Anyway, gonna try to open the door.
You push. There is no give.
Pull?
No, it doesn't pull.
Well, is there a side entrance?
you kind of look around. There's obviously a large chamber ahead of you, and you can see the wings on the left and right hand sides, and you kind of walk around the walls of this main chamber. There doesn't appear to be any other entrances.
Are there windows?
Does the
There
door
are.
just open? Can I open it?
No, we
You
did
can
that. I
certainly
just
try.
tried that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Can I walk up to the front door, not touch it, and just say, Zendron Cold Still, are you in there?
There's a moment.
Just a minute. On the privy.
And the sound of flushing echoes around the inside of the building, and this door swings open inwards, unnaturally swiftly, and then suddenly stops. Snow trickles down from the outside onto the ground underneath, to reveal a large chamber. Overlooking this chamber, on the left and right-hand sides at the top, are two large landings made from wood with carved balcony rails, and which lead into rooms on the second story of this building. You imagine along the wings that you saw from the outside. Maybe quarters for the people who live here. What you see before you is a rug going straight forward ahead of you, and pews on either side to a large raised section where there is a table. On the left-hand side of that raised section appears to be some kind of altar. Strangely unsymmetrical for a place like this. There are 4 tall chairs behind the table. In the center of each of the 4 walls, and one of them is running in front of the raised section, are pedestals. On the left-hand side and the right-hand side, there are pedestals built into the walls, like little alcoves. And there's one to the right of the door as it closes behind you. You look behind you and you see a little alcove on the right-hand side. And then there's one kind of at sort of waist height of this raised section at the front. Each alcove, bar one, contains a gemstone. On the left-hand side, halfway down this kind of pewed chamber, there is a ruby set in a red frame. On the right-hand side, there is an emerald set in a green frame. And behind you, there is a sapphire set in a blue frame. The one at the front, in the middle of this kind of raised section, almost like forming a centerpiece to this stage, is an alcove that's white and empty. No one's here.
Huh. Well,
Ella just shouts,
going to
"Hello!"
I'm definitely gonna walk into the room.
Same.
Yeah, same.
You kind of feel the felt underneath your feet. It's warm.
Okay.
Nice.
Can I
There's
poke
no one
So-
here.
the ruby?
See if it's loose.
Yeah, just whatever gem's nearest, actually. Can I just, like, poke it?
Okay,
And
the
I'm
nearest,
like,
the nearest one
guys!
to you is
Guys!
behind
We're not
you,
gonna
next to the
take
door.
them.
Make an investigation check, Eirys on the sapphire, and
Just if they're removable, maybe it's a puzzle or something.
Kyro, can you make an investigation
Maybe
check?
we should talk to whoever it
On
is
the
that
left-hand
answered
side
the door
for the ruby.
first.
I only got a 9.
You're welcome to try, he says.
It appears to be suspended, the sapphire that you're investigating. It's fairly round. Yeah, it's a gem. What did you get, Kyro?
16.
16. It immediately strikes you as you look at this kind of gently rotating precious stone in this alcove that it's roughly the same size as the diamond that your party possesses.
Weird.
Can I try waving my hand?
Say again?
You said it's, like, elevated, like there's air between the pedestal and the gem.
Yes.
Can I just wave my hand between the gap? See if anything happens.
You do, and nothing happens.
Oh, okay. Can I try and touch the gem?
Okay.
Are there any ways out of this room that we can see?
What I'll do is I will ask Eirys to make a dexterity check.
I'm right at those. 15?
What you do is you raise your hand, your index finger pointed forward, and you prod the gem, and nothing happens.
Oh my god! This is a roller coaster, you guys.
Kyro, you can see that there's doors immediately next to this raised front. So you can see on the left-hand side, there's a little stair that goes up onto this kind of stage. And on the right-hand side, there's a little stair that goes to the stage. And on either side of that stage is a door. But you can also see above on the kind of balconies that have been made, and they're supported by kind of wooden beams that go in between the pews on the left and right-hand side. There are also doors, one on the left at the top, almost exactly placed above the door on the ground floor, and then likewise on the right-hand side as well.
Okay, so I do want to just check to see if any of the doors open.
Okay, which one do you want to try first?
Whichever one's closest. I'll just go in order of whatever is proximally closest to me.
Okay, you'll move over to the door on the left. You'll try it. It'll open, but then you hear the sound of a door opening behind you. You turn.
I turn and look.
You turn. Zendron Coldsteel bundles in.
What? Visitors! Oh, fantastic!
Zendron Coldsteel is a dragon-born sorcerer. He's old. Very old. His scales are fading in intensity. A fiery golden glow of his youth has faded to a cloudier golden sheen on each scale. He wears a very shabby-looking leather armor jerkin. Eirys, as you look at it, it is emitting a small glow, similar to the scales. He's holding a quarterstaff, almost as if it was a walking stick, kind of almost dragging himself across the dais. He kind of puts himself up onto a couple of the stairs immediately to his right to try and get some height. He's not short, he's dragonborn, but he's curved over. That spine is betraying his age. He kind of murmurs to himself.
Yes, well, here, the daily evacuation, it's important. That feels much better.
He's talking about, going to the bathroom.
Oh.
That's what some uncultured people call it.
And he moves over to the table, and he sits behind a chair furthest on the right to your view, but obviously stage left to him, and he just kind of shoves himself in and just like,
Well,
he kind of rummages in like a knapsack on his side, and he pulls out a large horn and raises it to his right ear and leans it towards the party.
well, welcome to the Trine Temple. What can I do you for?
Sean sent us from Uthella.
Sean? Well, that's a name. Is it a name? Sean the Goblin.
Furball.
Furball.
look over to
That's what I
Kyro.
said. Yes, that's what I said. Sorry. Yes, that's what I said. Okay.
Over to you.
I'm listening carefully because I have no idea why we're here.
I'm here to talk to whoever's in charge. Is that you?
Well, I mean, I'm one of the 4 elders of the temple, but it's kind of a council, it's not a single leader sort of thing.
He nods.
And you hear like the door that you've opened before and kind of forgotten about. You hear it clatter against the wall at the back, and a second figure comes in. You turn. It's an Asimar.
Fancy.
Standing a good 6.5 feet tall, surprisingly young, certainly relative to Zendron, maybe in late 20s, early 30s.
Who isn't?
Oh yeah, he's a
dressed-
baby.
Indeed, dressed in grey monk vestiges and has long black hair that falls to the small of her back. And there are a couple of
know
hair
what an
growths.
ASMR
is.
Would we know they're an ASMR because
Yeah.
they just appear as human?
Okay,
until
yeah.
Well,
the
SMR,
wings.
depending on them, they can
It
have
depends.
like metallic hair or an actual halo or glowing eyes or
Right, right. Sorry. Continue your description.
Yeah, I mean, it appears mostly human, but for, indeed, as Deanna said, the eyes, there don't appear to be any iris or pupils, and they appear to be emitting a slight glow. Belying...
Would Kyro know what an ASMR is?
Pretty certain
make-
Eirys
If
would
not, it's fine. I'm just wondering.
Make a history check.
Okay.
I
You know, I'm gonna say he doesn't.
Okay, so it's a human that
Because
walks
I don't
in-
need to roll.
It's a human that walks
Would,
in that depends on that has glowing eyes. It's weird.
would Ella know because of her background? Would she?
I'd say that you were aware of the ASMR. You're not sure as to whether or not this is one or not, but you have a suspicion.
Okay.
Based on the fact that you are aware that these things do exist, that sometimes a pair of humans that rear a child, it may be celestial in nature.
Bless.
Sometimes the gods intervene in some way.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a couple of clips above each of her eyes that are like keeping the pretty untidy hair from falling over her face and keeping it behind her. She walks in just like, Lord Zendron, who are these?
Well, I was just finding that out myself. Yoxa, yes. Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Kyro, and I'm here seeking some magic.
Well, you've come to a potentially very profitable place. Unfortunately, the catacombs of the temple are inaccessible at the moment because I'm sure you can see.
And he points at the alcove that you can see in front of you.
The last of the elemental stones that we had here seems to have gone walkies. Yeah.
There's clopping of hooves from behind Yorkshire, the kind of monk-dressed individual, and coming through is a centaur.
Oh,
Lord
Never
Zendron,
seen that.
what's
That
going
looks
on?
weird.
I'm surprised to see that, but
The hooves crack loudly on the stone floor as he approaches, and he comes through behind Yorkshire. His lower half is the body of a large brown shire horse, and his upper half is of a grizzled, masculine figure dressed in boiled leather with shaggy head and facial hair around a stern face. His eyebrows
mountain man.
furrowed as he looks across at the incoming party. We have visitors. Who let them in?
These, Venteeth, these are the ones.
My Lord Zendron.
What?
We've had this discussion. I'm sorry, but listen. If you're here for penitence, we have a lovely space, but try not to stay too long, okay? I've got enough to do as it is.
Hey!
What is there to do up a mountain?
Would
Snowball
you
fight?
like to know? Snowball. Zendron.
What? It was funny. It was objectively funny. You remember when I arrived here? We had snowball fights for days.
Snowball fight. For days.
Snowball fights for days.
Oh,
They're jolly good fun.
who said that?
Especially when you make a snow cannon.
Hello, me down here. Hello, down, look down,
Oh.
down. Hello.
God, the humans are getting so small. Yorkshire's
Hey!
Venteeth, don't act ignorant. It's clearly a gnome.
Thank you.
Wow.
See these ears? Do they look human to you? No. I am a gnome.
No.
Zendron kind of looks at Venteeth and raises his eyebrows.
You know about gnomes. What about Nihilus?
I know about Nihilus. Did somebody say Nihilus? And you guys look up onto the balcony, and there is a gnome. Kind of looking between the kind of wooden kind of slats of the kind of balcony fence that lines this upper walkway, and he's kind of looking between, and he's beaming underneath with a big grin, and he's a small, lithe, nimble old gnome, and he kind of goes, Yes, fantastic. It's good to have visitors. And he jumps off and does a somersault in midair and goes poof on Venteith's back. And he's like, oh, no, get off. I've told you you're not allowed to ride me. Get up, cowboy. And Venteith's like, get off. They're going to have a bit of a contest here.
All right.
I clap.
Venteith shoves off Nihilus, who...
I'm just waiting.
just about kind of like... He lands on his back, and he kind of backward rolls back up onto his feet, and he kind of guffaws like... good to have you.
So that's a no one riding on your back then.
This is too much noise. That's what you're gonna say.
Can I run up to the gnome and speak in Gnomish to him?
You run up
and say hello.
Yeah, you run up to the old gnome as he kind of like is kind of straightening himself out and cracks his back. You see he's wearing a monocle, and he's got very expensive looking regal sort of a tunic that's made out of fine silk with like gold threading throughout. And actually, as you look at him and he beams at you, you see on the left-hand side of his teeth, one of his teeth is made of gold. And as he kind of looks at you and you speak to him, his jaws on his lowered kind of cheek, you can see they're moving up and down. He's perpetually grinding his teeth as he looks at you, and he grins and he replies in Gnomish, "Oh, it's been a long time since I've had a Gnomish visitor."
Same here. I haven't seen a gnome for yonks. I'm
Nihilus Quicksilver. And
lovely to meet you.
The four kind of like move. What are you going to say? Sorry, I don't want to talk over you.
Can I give you a hug?
Come here! And he kind of like he goes in first. You guys just watch these two gnomes like going because Gnomish is kind of
out of
nasal.
character, guys. Gnomes are great. I love them.
You guys watch as these two are kind of numbing to each other in a very high-pitched, nasally sort of dialect, and it's difficult to. They don't seem to be stopping for breath.
They're just like adorable little animals.
He just throws his arms around her and they hug. Venteith scoffs.
So
it's like,
sweet.
I don't think
Kyro
this is
wants-
accomplishing anything.
Do you think they know each other?
I shrug.
Shrugs. Yeah.
They
Kyro's
shrug
going to-
simultaneously.
Oh, I hate that, but I don't. I'm not gonna pay attention to that. Kyro's going to approach the lady figure, if possible, and
She kind of looks up. She's like, "Hi. Yes, sorry about." Nihilus kind of gets on Venteith's nerves.
he nods. And in a low voice, he's not trying to project this so everyone's listening.
Okay.
He's gonna be like, "I'm actually here for something rather serious. Is there somewhere I can talk to someone about getting a resurrection spell cast?"
Oh. She kind of looks around the party. Nihilus and Ella are still kind of like playing around. Yell is starting to tease Venteith, seeing that he has like a potential victim here. Arthurine is just kind of looking at the entire throng, sort of like mouth half open. She looks back at you. I think the one to talk to about that is either Zendron or Venteith.
Which one's Venteith? Is that the horse one?
The centaur, yeah.
Okay.
I
Excuse me for my racism.
I mean, she kind of like raises her hand to her chin and kind of strokes it thoughtfully. Listen, I mean, all of our artifacts are stored in the temple catacombs, but those aren't going to be unlocked until we have the stone back, the last of the elemental stones.
Is that in the catacombs?
Well, no, the stone is the key that unlocks the catacombs. We need all four to be put in their plinths around the temple here. She kind of indicates to the four kind of alcoves in the walls.
I'm guessing this is too quiet for me to hear.
Yeah, I mean, you can see.
I'm leaning up against a wall.
I think he's gonna go ahead and take out the diamond that he has, and he's gonna wipe off
the dirt and such. Is this it by any chance? I don't.
She kind of like gasps as you get it out. It's like, you've got it. Hey everyone! And Zendra's like, "Arr!" And Nihilus is like, "Arr!" And Ventus like, "Arr!" He looks around from Yell, trying to like, you know, show him the thumb taking off trick, as if I'm magic too. And then he's just like, oh my god. And he turns around just like, thank god. Relief. And York is like, they have the stone!
I'm going to take this opportunity to jump on his back.
Oh no, don't do that!
Make an acrobatics check.
This poor Sentinel's been so violated today.
So, it was a natural 2.
Like a common carnival pony.
Plus 3 is 5.
I just think you just got hit in the nuts.
Okay, so he kind of sees in the peripheral vision that you're jumping on. He makes a dexterity save, and it's a natural 18. So that wins. So he gets out of the way, and you kind of like, you kind of skid across, and he just kind of like shrugs his rump, and you fly off onto the ground. You sustain 1 point of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground. Straight onto your front.
So
He turns around just like, you are not permitted to ride me. What are we talking about,
Magic
York?
Willie will have something to say about that.
Oh, you're welcome to try. Now, if you don't have any business here, then I suggest you leave. York's just like, no, wait. These people appear a bit strange, but they have the Windstone. What?
The Windstone? Oh, great.
We do?
He doesn't sound excited about that. Interesting.
Yorksa kind of like moves to the stone in your hand and reaches out to take it. She's making to take it from you.
He lets her take it, I guess. He's not psyched about it.
Okay, so he takes a stone and it's like, look! We got the stone! We can reactivate the entrance to the catacombs!
He puts a
Finally.
hand on his sword hilt.
She doesn't pay attention. It's like,
No, that's fine.
she moves over to the plinth at the front, just at the middle of this kind of raised dais area, and puts the stone in, and a bolt of light comes down from the plinth through the center of the chamber, and at the same time, around at the other plinths, light comes down and joins into the middle of the room, which is mostly obscured by the pews and by the rug running through the middle. But something seems to have been activated. And she looks back just like, thank God! I thought we'd lost that forever. And Zendron's like,
Yes, it's good that we have it back. Yes, excellent.
What exactly did we bring back?
None of your business.
Are you joking? I mean, you brought back the Windstone. The 4 elemental stones? You can't have come here without knowing about...
You know, the whole reason we came here, I guess.
Honestly, I don't know the whole reason we're here anyway. All I know is I'm following you.
Indicates to Kyro, and Yorksa looks at Kyro and is like, raises eyebrows. Have you not told your friends what's going on?
That guy just decided to start following me. He should.
I'm your dad!
Yeah, and you just decided to start following me.
Ah, wow.
He seems somewhat like, yeah, that means nothing.
And that just like crushes him.
So
he looks physically hurt by your words.
Nihilus looks across and is like, "Whoa, well, if it's true that he's your father, you should, probably cut him a bit of slack or something." York's is like, I agree. I mean, surely if you've been traveling up this mountain, you know.
And Sintyr's like, no, he has every right to be like this.
York's is like,
Kyro just looks like kind of neutral about this whole situation.
York's just like, No, I'm sorry. I don't think that you have the right to treat your father like this.
You don't know me, sir. You don't know.
He just raises his brows slightly, like, oh, okay.
I'd rather not get into it, but just let it be.
Zendron leans over to Venteeth and goes,
Drama!
Kyro just some sort of frustrating puff of air, like, God, why just even so can you help or not? He looks at the woman.
well, now that we have the key to the catacombs back,
Hang on a minute!
and Zendron kind of like just jumps in front, is like,
Wait! What about the trials?
and York's just like, really? Are we gonna do this?
Yes! They must pass the trials of the Trinstone Temple!
And Venteeth and Yorkshire look a bit on
Seems
edge.
mildly irritated.
Nihilus is really into it. Basically, just looking through my notes now. Yorkshire's just like, well, my trials passed because they brought the stone back. Done. Zendron's like,
It will suffice! That is a good trial! They've done well to return the stone! That totally wasn't given to a random traveler by me as a prank! That catacombs for 7 years. Never mind. Anyway.
It was totally not given to a traveler because of a prank.
and Nihilus kind of steps forward and is like, well, I got something for him.
Fantastic, Nihilus, what is it?
Well, you could go a little bit ways to the north towards the second Trine Peak. There's an ancient mask of stones in a clearing there. Used to be a teleportation circle back in the day. I'm working on that myself. But what I want from you guys is an egg.
An egg.
Okay.
That's right. An egg.
Doesn't
from...
matter where the egg. Oh, okay.
The egg from. The egg from.
He kind of like, as you say, it doesn't matter where, and as you say that, it's just like,
The egg from the ancient nest of the devil geese.
and Venteeth is just
Kyro
like,
doesn't know what a goose is, so this is just another monster.
Well, you know what a devil is.
Oh yeah, so that part is definitely something he knows about.
Venteeth
See,
kind
it's
of
somebody
like,
go around.
So it would be like if someone said to me, the nest of the devil schmuppy. I don't know what a schmuppy is, but...
No, I get it. I'm as intimidated as I would be if I were going to fight a devil, which is normal.
So Venteeth's kind of like, oh, they are just regular geese. They are literally regular geese.
You
Okay.
He tried to like hatch one and rear them with my help, and then they escaped.
I say to Kyro, a goose. Have you ever seen a chicken?
I don't need to know what a goose is.
Okay.
Goose rich.
He goes back to his sad corner.
If we do this trial, how do you know that you'll help us or can help us?
Zendron's like,
Well, he's gonna pick. Where did the stone go, by the way?
the stone's in the plinth at the moment.
He's gonna take the stone out of the plinth.
I
What?
like that idea.
Is Kyro
They'll
doing
get
that?
this. Yeah, Kyro takes the stone out of the plinth.
Okay, you do so, and the lights will go out. Yorkshire looks a bit concerned. Zendron, maybe... I don't know, maybe these trials aren't necessary?
Nonsense! If they want to enter the catacombs, they must pass the trials!
But Zendron, we already did the trials.
What?
Yeah, what he said. He's right, we did them.
We
You
already
seem to
did the
have
trials.
forgotten.
Make a persuasion roll.
With advantage, because we're all corroborating your story. Maybe. Is that okay?
Yeah, Kyro gets advantage.
Wait, no, Yell's the one who said it. Why am I doing
Yeah,
the roll?
Yell can roll
I'm
with
useless in
advantage.
this because I'm
Okay.
sad.
I was about to say. I'm not the one for persuading people.
23.
Oh, wow. He kind of like thinks to himself for a moment and goes,
This is very good, yes.
If you desire to go to the catacombs, as you are, the likelihood of your death is considerable. I'm not asking you to take these trials for us. I'm asking you to take these trials for you.
Are you saying that a goose egg will protect us in the catacomb?
You haven't heard the other trials yet.
Good point. What are they?
Fenteeth?
he comes forward, he's like, listen, I want to apologize on behalf of Zendron.
Fenteeth! Tell them the trial!
I require, and this is just an academic thing, I want to make an offering to Melora. I need the heart of a Periton to do so, to atone for the souls of those who have been hunted by those creatures.
A Periton?
Yes.
I'm put out of my sad state. Like, you mean the they like eat people's hearts, and that's not a little thing, dude.
Yes, it's not.
That's
And
why
I
it's
would
a
like to
trial.
appease for the souls of those who have been hunted by them, and for that I require the heart of a Periton. I will offer it up at the very, very top of the highest point of the mountain, where I've devoted a small shrine to Melora. I require the heart of a Periton for that. And, at Zendron's behest, I will require the heart of a Periton. I can give you
Okay.
directions to the nearest cave that regularly houses them.
Can do. Question, does it matter what condition the heart is in?
Yes, it needs to be whole.
Okay.
And is there another trial?
Well, Zendron kind of looks at Zendron, and Zendron narrows his eyes, looking at Yell very, very carefully.
Well, I was going to continue feigning ignorance, but there's more to you people than even I believed. I have reason to believe that there's something going on in the same cave Fenteeth is going to direct you to that requires your intervention.
Why ours?
What is it, the thing that we have to do?
You'll find out when you get there.
When we get there? Cool, got it. Are there any other trials?
The 4 trials have been set.
Oh. Not
I'm-
3 though. Isn't it?
The fourth one was the bringing in the diamond.
Yorkshire
Oh,
kind
really?
of like edges. Yeah, Yorkshire edges in quietly and is like, yeah, well, seeing as you have just taken that out, then I guess it still kind of counts as there being 4.
Yorkshire, let the party choose their path.
So the diamond that we brought back and then took back, we need to put back the goose egg, your favor with Melora, and a mystery box. That is what's going to help us down in the catacombs.
Oh, mystery box. I like the sound of that. While you're gone, I will explore the catacombs and see if I can procure an artifact that might help you. Speaking of which, what exactly are you looking for again?
I don't know. Ask her. He points to the lady.
I mean, if you're going to...
After we're gone. Do you need this in the thing to go to the catacombs? He says, holding the stone.
York says, comes in. That stone goes into that plinth and that unlocks the catacombs. As long as the stones are in the plinths, then the catacombs remain unlocked. If any one of them come out, then the catacomb locks.
Okay. So he's gonna put it back in so that this guy can go into the catacombs.
Yeah, the lines of light go back into the middle of the room. And
He's going to assume that since that guy needs the heart of a Periton, they'll probably let them back in to this place.
Venteeth
Okay.
has his arms folded and kind of like make an insight check on Venteeth.
Alright. Insight, huh? Let's see.
Can I insight check like them as a group to see if anything else is at play here?
Yeah, certainly.
I need to remember I'm a rogue and should insight check.
7.
7. He's a moody centaur.
Yeah, I just assumed that
I
because he needs a thing.
I want to insight check my son because I'm realizing that he seems like really focused on getting whatever it is that is at the end of these trials.
Okay.
And from what I know of him, it seems really weird that he would...
You don't know a lot about him, to be fair.
Yeah, true, but it seems weird that he would go through all of this for something that wasn't really important, you know?
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
he puts up with very little. He barely puts up with me.
Well, you're not
can
very
make-
little.
You can make an insight check.
He barely puts up with being hit by a snowball.
Anyway.
Okay, well, anyway.
So, Eirys, what was your check?
19.
19. You get the sense that this place is habited by people who are very eccentric, having been there a long time, or are in the process of being made eccentric by the isolation. You see that Venteeth has like attire that seems kind of nature-based, so it's boiled leather. There isn't any metal in the attire that he's wearing, which makes you think that he might be something of a naturalist, that kind of thing. Zendron, you get a very clear idea, particularly given how Yell's interacted with him, that he is putting on a silliness sort of thing. And as you watch over Nihilus the gnome, you see him chattering to himself and grinding his teeth. He grins at Ella.
I grin back.
So, what's not to say that when you go down into the catacombs, somebody isn't just going to take the thing and lock you out, and then we're all screwed?
What? The catacombs have been locked for years. I'd be surprised if there
That
are any
seems like
bosses down
really unlikely.
I mean, if it's the case that something has gotten down there, well, without blowing my own trumpet too much, I'll probably be able to keep myself safe.
No. What if you got locked in the catacombs?
Yeah,
Hmm.
seems like a thing.
He narrows his
happen.
eyes, and he's going to make an insight check on you, which he rolls a natural 4 for, so he doesn't know what to say.
I'm literally just asking, like,
What happens?
what's going to happen if you
Straight
get
up.
locked in there?
Is there like an
Yeah.
emergency button you can push?
I
That was out of
suppose,
character, sorry.
suppose
Because if we go off and do this and you get locked in because somebody screws you over.
Do they hate, like if they secretly hate him or something?
I trust my companions here. In fact, I was invited. An honored
Oh, that's
guest
nice.
many years ago. What we do here might not seem much, but is important. I
What
trust these
is
people
it
with
you
my
do
life.
here?
Have you heard
Of the Elder Scrolls, no.
Have you heard of the Melora phenomenon?
Have I recommended?
Out of character.
I mean, anyone who wants to make a history check on this can.
Sure, my strength, but we'll give it a go and give it a whirl.
What did
14 and
Sintyrr get on his insight?
I got 19, 19.
18.
It was history, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I believe my history is terrible.
Yeah.
20 plus
22.
I got a 13.
Yell,
Yeah.
the penny drops. Zendron is far, far more than an eccentric old man. Zendron is one of the heroes of the Menorah phenomenon. You can't believe you didn't realize that before. Everybody else who rolled between like 19 and 15, you remember that there was a crisis in which a number of gargantuan dragons rose from around the continent, and the chromatic dragons versus the metallic dragons threatened to basically fly into an explosive war that would wreck the continent, completely destroying basically life as you knew it. A bit of an apocalyptic sort of situation, and it was averted by some kind of intervention. The folk tales say that it was a group of adventurers, but you don't know how likely that is to be true. Yell, however, like, you remember very vividly the description of a mighty golden dragonborn whose name was never in the stories, but like, you make a link that, oh my god, gold dragonborn magic wielder with this old gold dragonborn that has magical armor on that you can see glowing on it. You put it together.
In a weird mountaintop temple?
Yep.
Super old?
Is this an adventure retirement home? I
I've
don't
heard
say
it.
that, by the way.
What did
I've heard of
Sintyrr-
it. What of it?
Well, it was judged after the crisis came to an end that some protection was required. So, this ancient temple that stood up here for goodness knows how long was recolonized. A guard stood watch. Wizards studied here. All manner of people traveled to the top, honing their skills, growing in strength, becoming the kind of people that could stand up to such a crisis again.
And kind of like looks away. Nihilus kind of like a reflection from his monocle kind of hits the wall, and he kind of glances at it like. Venteeth folds his arms, just like, oh, for God's sake, Zendron, why'd you put on this idiocy? Yorksa steps forward. This order was established to basically protect against any future incursions of such a melodramatic and crazy nature. I came up here a few years ago because I wanted to help, and all I found was this. Zendron burps, and a bit of smoke comes out of his mouth.
How is it only 4 of you would manage to help the whole continent?
We weren't always 4 in number. There used to be more.
What happened to them?
Did they die?
Some did pass on. Some decided to leave. As the years turned to decades, and they began missing the things that were important to them, they went back home. The Youth Empire continued to grow, and they began to believe the lie that they can cower behind the walls of the Youth Empire, that that's strong enough to protect them. I fear that we are on the verge of a great descendance. And that's why I need people like you.
To get you goose eggs.
To be fair, I am very hungry.
God damn it, Nihilus, be quiet! We need to know that we can trust you.
Uh-oh.
Now that
Yeah.
will get you somewhere.
Make another insight check.
Oh no! It happened! Natural one.
Inside friend,
oh,
you
no.
can't run
Natural
below.
1.
Oh, I can't because of my thing! Oh, rogue attach type! I love you, rogue attach type! Okay. Oh my god, that was the best thing to roll a natural 1 on. Okay, thank you, Arby, so much.
Nice job.
Okay, okay, whenever you make an insight check of 7 or lower on the D20, oh, sorry. No, I don't think it is. It says whenever you make an insight check to determine whether a creature is lying. That's not what I'm doing now, is it?
I'm going to let you take this because it's a cool ability and you deserve to benefit from it. So take 7.
Ah, thank you. It says treat a roll of 7 or lower. 8.
As
So
an
then 8 plus my insight, which is plus 5, so 13.
Sweet.
It's difficult to know for sure, but it seems like the facade of daft old Zendron is starting to come down, and there's something of a genuine plea here. This isn't, you know, an all-powerful wizard speaking to you from a lofty, ironic position anymore. This is somebody who established an order, who believes that there's a danger, and who is asking for help.
Do you believe something may happen soon?
That's why I want you to go to that cave.
You think something is happening now?
It's difficult to know for sure.
Venteith
Wow.
comes forward. I think Zendron is tired and needs sleep. If you wish to help, that would definitely be of benefit to us here. We live off the cold, hard mountain ground, and any help that you can provide would be much appreciated. Zendron looks sadly up.
Venteith, you believed in our cause more than anyone.
That was a long time ago.
Venteith! Density!
Oh, god damn it, Zendron.
Well, I think it's worth checking out. I'm happy to be the eyes of the dragon for him.
He looks up, he doesn't say anything, but he nods.
I smile at Zendron.
Just giving out smiles now.
And Ella's just staring, gobsmacked.
Okay.
What a charming lady. I'm ready to go.
Yorksa kind of steps forward. Like, we have spare rooms that were once occupied and aren't so much anymore. I can prepare some for you. You can have a room each, free of charge. We can give you some basic food and provisions from the goat's milk that we produce. But, yeah. It'll be good to have some eggs.
Nods.
We will get your eggs for you.
We could probably do that now.
Would it not be better to just bring back the geese as well?
Good.
And Nihilus kind of goes,
Well, that's a very good point.
Venteith is just like, you can burying.
What are those geese doing on that faraway place?
The expression
Making
that Venteith
sweet
has,
geese love.
like, for burying his forehead into his hands, like, you've never seen anyone bury his head quite far into his hands as Venteith is doing, flanked as he is by Nihilus and Zendron. But what was the question? Sorry.
Would it not make more sense to just bring the geese back as well?
Venteith nods. Yes, of course. That's a good idea. I would imagine if you bring the nest in its entirety back, the geese are likely to follow.
I mean, they're geese. They can't be that big. I can hold them on my arms. Good luck to fly.
Listen. Geese aren't maybe aren't that big, but they bite and they hiss and they're nasty.
How
But
does
they
a
haven't met me yet.
drow know so much about a goose?
I've been on the surface a little while. We keep geese at the
At where?
we keep geese in the place where I was taken in, the various rangers and such of Eirys. We keep animals that are small enough to carry with our caravans, basically.
Why were you taken in?
I think I told you guys about this, didn't I?
No, I think you only told.
Oh, well.
Sure, but I think you only told.
Well, it's not really a secret. I was taken in because I used to be a part of the Drow in the Underdark, as most of us come from. I was sent with a surface raiding group. We were sent to pillage, basically, but before we got to doing any of that, I slipped off of an embankment and fell in a river. I assume my companions must have assumed me dead. Instead, I was found by this group of Eirys followers, and they took me in, basically. And eventually, I, moved by their kindness, decided to become one of them. And here I am.
Strange the world is.
Yeah.
And getting stranger.
Joe's
Tell you what,
gonna,
why
I
don't
think.
we go and prepare their rooms? Come on. At the very
If
least,
it's
you need some
still-
rest.
If it's still daytime, well, they've been waking up during the day lately, right?
I thought you.
Like the party.
I was under the impression that you were falling more into a night, just sleep by night, travel by day mode.
Okay.
You were
So
trying
is
to
it
stick
still
to...
daylight out right now? We
It
came here like
is,
in the
it
morning
is.
time, right?
At the time it's taken for you to get to the temple and to introduce all of these people, it's probably approaching mid-afternoon now.
How far away is this geese area?
Right, that's just a few miles north.
So I could probably go there and get back by evening time, maybe?
We could do that in a day.
Alright, he's gonna go out the door and do that.
I will
On your
follow.
own?
Dibs on
you
leading the
can,
geese.
like, they can follow me if they want. Kyro's not gonna, like, make them come with him.
I'll follow. I want to make
He's
sure.
under
you're
the
fine.
impression these are probably either birds or lizards, so he can take those.
Dibs on naming the geese.
Okay.
He just shrugs. Sure. What did Sintyrr get on his insight anyway? That was a while back.
What did Sintyrr roll?
Oh, I rolled a 22 actually.
For what? Insight
Basically
on...
what you.
what were you rolling insight on?
My son, to try to figure out what his deal is. What does he want?
Basically what you figure out is he came here to get something.
Okay.
A roll of 22 is really, really good. He.
Yeah, I got a 25 on deception though, so he can't really figure out anything.
Oh wow. Okay. So it was a contested, if it was a contested deception roll, then yeah.
I mean, he is actively trying not to tell his fault. Like, he's actively not. He's actively being ambiguous. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, you can tell he's here for a reason. You just don't know what it is at all.
Can I tell that you're trying to conceal it from me?
No.
Oh.
I mean, beyond the obvious, he won't tell you. Like, when you've asked, he clearly has never answered, so you can...
Okay, yeah,
tell
I
from
guess I
that.
can assume that, right?
Yeah. Like, you can't tell if he's trying very hard, but you know he hasn't been forthright about it.
Okay.
Okay.
So, who's going to take the walk north?
I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Eirys. Let me just grab the tokens. Yeah.
Frigga will go scoop up some geese and then sleep.
Unless something happens, oh no.
Happens.
I will follow them, but I'm gonna just hang back for a minute.
Okay.
Um,
This is just.
I'm gonna.
Is Yell going? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's Ella, Kyro, Eirys, and Yell. Anybody else? Arthrin kind of looks up and goes, oh, I'll come along as well. Who knows?
Are you sure?
2 eggs each, right?
Sure.
Unless we have, like, a basket or something.
I mean, we're taking the whole nest,
Or-
aren't we? So it'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just
the
fa- I
nest will
just-
probably contain all the eggs, I imagine.
I just fancy the walk, to be honest.
Ella's gonna join the party in a minute.
Okay.
Um,
You hold back. Who are we missing? Is Sintyrr staying in the temple?
I think he'll go with everyone.
Okay.
It wouldn't be bad if someone stayed behind in the temple, but
Hmm.
you can come with if you want.
I think
Okay.
he's concerned about making sure his son's okay, so
Hmm.
he wouldn't like.
He's worried the geese will eat him.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's not.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
Okay, so
I don't
everyone,
think he could be killed by geese.
Geese are mean.
everybody prepares to leave, and Ella, you stay behind.
I'm gonna. I'm kind of just in awe of everything, like looking around and everything. I'm gonna go up to Zendron.
Huh? Hello there.
Hello. Didn't introduce myself. My name's Ella Ickleberry. And I hold up my hand.
Cold Steel.
Shakes your hand.
It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's a pleasure to meet you. I mean, I've only ever met one other Dragonborn, and this is very exciting for me. Very exciting.
Really? Who was that Dragonborn you met? I might know him.
No. He worked in a bar. Hang on. He worked in a bar. Trent, that was it. That's his name, Trent. He was
Trent!
silver. No, he was white. That was it. Yeah, he worked in a bar.
Trent!
Silver.
I don't know him. Never mind.
By the way,
Okay.
Zoe, you've actually met 2. There was the other one we helped briefly on the way down.
Ah! Thank you.
It's so unremarkable that you forgot.
I remember him. I wrote him
Ella
down.
has a lot of things going on in her head at once, you know.
Tolton.
He's from the-
Tolton was the other one.
He's from the
Tolton
Coward
was indeed,
Toltrin.
yes.
Coward Toltrin the Lesser.
Yeah, Tolton the Lesser.
Tolton the Lesser.
Kyro knows him as Lesser.
Lesser. Lesser the Toltrin.
You remember that on the way to Trinstone, you came across a cave that had kobold in it, and you decided to run in and basically recover a bunch of precious stones for Toltrin the Lesser, because they are valuable to his clan, who you learned was called Calarith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I remember now. Yeah.
We didn't really need him, so shrug.
Do you have books here?
That is a good question. Would you like to come with me or go with your friends?
Oh. I kind of like jiggle up and down the spots.
I tell you what, you go out for that walk. It's just a few
Well,
miles. And
the
by the
thing
time you
is-
get back, what's up?
The thing is, I should really go with them because, I mean, I'm the cleric, so
If they get bit by geese, they need to be.
they need they need healing if, you know, a goose attacks them.
What?
A dire goose.
I like how prepared we are for this goose encounter.
I mean, like, you never know. You never know.
No, I know.
Like,
They could be giant or whatever.
It's gonna go
We're
bad.
literally bringing like 5 of us and making sure our cleric is there. We can go and
Totally,
collect.
it's totally fine. I'm not
Better safe than
complaining.
sorry. Remember that fishing trip?
Yeah, you just gotta be
I do.
prepared for anything. I do
That's
remember. Ow! I
very
remember
fair.
that fishing trip so good. You don't even know, man.
Those were the days.
Sintyrr doesn't remember the fishing
There's
trip.
not a moment
No.
that goes by that I forget that fishing trip.
Oh god damn it! Oh, I killed Deanna. Anyway, so,
No, you killed Jojorawr.
yeah. Anyway, you guys.
Yeah, if you killed one of your players, that would be different. that is punishable by law.
Whole
That's
different game.
Anyway, Zendron kind of like sees what you're saying and he smiles. He goes,
Listen, you go with them. By the time you come back with the eggs, I'll have everything we need to make a wonderful meal, and I'll pick out some books for you. How about that?
Oh, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Oh,
What a
just-
nice
oh.
old man.
Ah, and one other thing.
Hmm?
Can I give you a hug?
Oh.
he softens.
She's hug collecting.
He kind of softens and his expression becomes a bit more emotional and he goes,
Yes.
Meh.
Can.
We know
I'll, like,
Ron
run to
thinks
it,
he's
like-
gotten a hug.
Jump on him and like give him a really big hug.
he's going to make a strength save. You're a
Yeah.
gnome in
Oh,
full
no.
armor.
That's true.
And he's an old
He's like
man.
a big rock.
I don't mean to injure him.
he makes
injured,
it.
he'll
He
just
makes it
fall
because
over.
he rolls a 17 plus 2 is 19, so he stays on his feet.
Yeah, he's
Um,
fine.
Okay, good.
Maybe we practice
He
this.
embraces you warmly, and he kind of
You hear a crunch, and he's like, ah!
he kind of
No,
he
he's
quietly
fine.
he quietly murmurs in your ear, just like,
I have a feeling that you're supposed to be here. I feel it in my heart. Now go.
I'll be back.
Now
And she
get
gives
out
him
of here.
She gives him a kiss on the cheek and then she skips out the door.
my
Wow, how
girlfriend
cute.
just kissed my PC, guys. Cool.
You
So you guys make
should
your way
make
down.
romanceable characters, James.
I've kind of already have though. Arthur
Who's
is
that one?
literally trailing after Eirys, walking down the road
Yeah.
right now.
I know, I know. I'm just saying it never
one
hurts to
at
include
a
more.
time. One at a time.
Okay, sorry. My apologies. I was just saying there could be more.
Your journey's only just starting, my friend.
I
you
know.
guys,
Sure will encounter
you-
many.
Ellie, you run to catch up with the rest of them. Who
Quickly!
you're all making your way to the. Yeah, you guys are making your way up to the. Let me just see if I've got this.
I'm just saying, if you want more kisses, that's how you get them.
Okay, so you guys make your way down. It's a few miles, so it takes a couple of hours, and it's an easy walk. The snow seems to have lessened, and as the sun kind of begins to descend for the mid-afternoon, it kind of reflects off the snow, and the view is stunning. On your left-hand side, some of you try to make it a little bit closer to like the sheer precipice that makes this vast mountain that opens up onto what you know is the Uth Empire beyond to the west, and it's a positive feeling, a feeling that you've got to where you're going, and perhaps finally some purpose is being formed here. Kyro, you've got point. You're on the front, and you come, and a kind of path forms itself from the kind of old, blown, scattered weeds that make up the patches of kind of sparse grass on this like mountainside, and you start to follow it. Everybody follows you, and you come around to here we go.
The goose
hang on.
encounter. I'm
Hang on, I'm just going to
psyched.
move you here.
Oh my god, we have a goose map, you guys.
Amazing!
Yay!
Here you are, and you walk up, and you see the.
Wow. This is a fancy goose nest.
I mean, it's obviously a circle of ancient statues, maybe a maybe a temple.
Oh, it's got a little heart on it.
Maybe a table once stood here. Sorry, a temple once stood here, or
Yeah, looks like some kind of
shrine to like
altar.
an ancient deity long forgotten. There does appear to be some kind of an altar there, amidst this mountain, and the wind whistles between. And you see in the center of this clearing.
It's the forgotten god of geese.
No, Eirys has a passive perception of 17.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, it doesn't matter. You don't detect this thing. You don't detect any monsters, and your characters don't know that. Continue as if you don't see anything here.
I was gonna scan the area for traps.
Okay, make
Traps?
a perception check.
Just in case.
I mean, this is an ancient temple site. Then who knows what's here? There could be
Geese
magic.
live here.
You've seen Tomb Raider, right? I'm just saying. Ancient temples be dangerous.
I don't know how smart geese are.
What's this perception you said?
Yeah, it is perception. You guys hear
Well,
kind of and
plus two.
overhead, going from the far side of the temple, flying above you and then behind you, is a V formation of geese.
I warn the
21.
party, like, whatever you do, don't show them fear. They can smell fear. And they have serrated beaks, and they will bite you.
Maybe you should stay here then.
In the region of
No,
30
I'm...
and 50 feet above you, they fly on.
I rolled a 21 to check for traps.
As far as you can see, there doesn't seem to be any traps anywhere, apart from what appears to be like a old altar, or maybe even sacrificial table, which you can see. Let me just point it there. There may be something inside it, but you know, it looks kind of out of place, as if it's been tampered with, or you know, adjusted by something.
Can I walk closer, checking for traps as I go, and inspect it, please?
I'm gonna walk
As-
towards the geese.
Okay. The geese have just flown over. Other than that, there's nothing visible to you around here. You walk towards the center of this clearing, where there appears to be a nest. It looks like a fire. Ignore the fact that it looks like a fire.
That's fine.
It's a nest, and it's full
I will look
of
around in case there's like, I don't
crazily-
know,
crazily
something in the
large.
sky.
I mean, crazily large goose eggs. They're big. Too big.
Oh, wow.
Huh, cool.
Eirys?
I don't know that, so I think this is normal.
Deck save.
Dex save.
I point at that, and I'm like,
Oh.
that's too big for a goose egg.
That ain't good. 11.
Jaboom.
Oh
Jaboom.
god, those are demon geese, huh?
Sweeping from around the corner, you see a deep goose. A
Wow,
cracking
what?
goose.
A deep goose. Did you not hear what he said? It's a deep goose.
A deep goose bursts out of the table.
Oh.
And rears its heads, its 5 heads.
What goose are?
And screeches.
And I'm like, that's not a goose!
Into the air, and that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
That is not a goose, he says.
And this isn't even a mystery box.
Out of character, are you sure it's not a goose?
It has 5 heads.
Is it just a 5-headed goose, though?
Kiro's gonna fight.
With
Kiro's gonna fight this thing, thinking it's a real goose.
Yeah, I mean, like, what?
Even though he's
what
dead
is it?
screaming, that's not a goose.
I mean, if it's not, then why are we even here?
The geese just
She's
flew
gonna be
overhead
like,
because they were
how
running
did
away from
y'all ever think we could carry this under our arms?
I guess since Sintyr's yelling that it's not a goose, I guess he's gonna be like, well, where the fuck are the geese?
Oh my
Well,
god.
that's not a normal goose.
Okay.
Well, I
God.
know what
Am I-
Eirys
am
is
I
doing
gonna-
straight away.
Am I going to quickly...
I mean, what did you get on your
This is
dexterity?
middle
What did you get
game.
on... Let's just quickly finish this. What did you get on your dexterity save, Eirys?
11. Not very much.
Uh-oh.
Um,
That doesn't
it's
sound
going
good.
to... Okay, it has 5 heads, so it makes 5 bite attacks against you. 3 of them are below 10, so they probably won't miss, probably won't hit.
My armor
2 of
class is
them-
15.
Okay, so 2 of them do hit. And just to finish today, you sustain 12 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
That's
Okay.
smart.
I think that is actually the first time Eirys has ever taken damage
Yes.
in this
it is.
campaign system.
No!
And
I
you
have
have it
achieved my mission!
Of all the things we've fought and however cool Eirys is, she takes her first sort of damage from a goose.
It's
sneaky
it's
A deep goose.
it's a
That actually makes me feel better, weirdly.
It's a Medusa goose. It's a cracking goose.
A
I mean, this is
Medusa.
definitely
It's a
the
Medusa.